Welcome back. We are just about to start session number 3 of the CPU National Championships 2025. My name is Johnson, and joined with me is Brittany Schlater.
Good morning, everyone.
On platform 1, we have the Youth and Special Olympics lifters, while on platform 2, we will be having the sub-junior men from the weight classes of 53 to 74. Starting things off with a re-rack on the bar. We are looking for knees to be straight, standing tall from the lifter.
There we go. He gets the command. Nice, easy opener for Zachary. 3 white lights.
All right, and he's on the board. National record secured.
Opening with a national record. It's be fun to see what kind of day he puts together.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to be in for a treat there. Starting us off on platform 1, we have Sophia Allen, who is a guest lifter today. 35 kilos on the bar. Unfortunately, a bit untidy, taking a little step back following the squat.
On platform 2, we have Samuel McConkey. He's coming out for 130 kilos for his squat opener.
Samuel is our only 59 kilo lifter today. So if he can take care of business, that'll be a good day for him. 130 kilos, 286.
Oh, just a little misgroove. Good catch by the spotters. I'm sure he'll come back and get that on a second.
Platform 1, Georgia Lee, 35 kilos. Our first youth lifter, youth 3.
Nice smooth opener there for her.
Nicely done. All right, we are trucking along today as we get the squats rolling.
All right, on platform 2, we have Matthew Hudson coming out for 135 kilos for his opener. He is a sub-junior 66.
And on platform 1, Kaylee Fear, 37.5. Nicely done. There we go.
Nice and smooth for Matthew. We'll see what the
Awesome
referees have
job.
to say.
All right, looks like our lifters are getting a little more comfortable with the bar after the first couple. Brittany, what are our judges looking for the squat?
So for squat, some of the main infractions that could happen, well, the lifter needs to squat to depth, so to ensure that they are squatting to depth, which we haven't seen any issues with yet. The bar must move up in one continual movement once the squat is pushed out of the hole, so yeah, look for that.
Grace Lebrecht, 50 kilos. Wallace McDonald, 157.5. Good starting openers for the two of
Yeah,
them.
looked great. 3 white lights on both platforms. That's awesome start.
We've had a re-rack call already. What do you think that could have been for? Or what do you think
So
the judge is looking for there?
re-rack call, it could have been for not being upright enough. So you have to stand with your hips, shoulders in line with your feet, ankles. And then it could have also been soft knees. Your knees have to be locked out fully in order to get the start command for a squat.
Nice. Matthew Nearing, 160 kilos. That's a strong opener for a sub-junior.
Sub-junior 66, yeah, that's a hefty opener.
Sub-junior's looking at 14 to 18 years old.
And then we have Reese Fowler on platform 1. He's taking 65 kilos for his opener.
So you see here Matthew Nearing with a re-rack command. Well, Reese Fowler.
Yep, nice and smooth
That's a
for
good
Reese.
lift there.
Did you catch what the re-rack command was for on platform 2?
Not quite. There's a
No.
lot of action going back and forth here.
Yeah.
But it looks like it's probably soft knees.
Soft knees, yeah.
Yeah, likely
Oh,
the case.
he looks like he Has him locked out now. Yep, gets the command.
There we go.
Loaded on 1.
3 white lights for Matthew.
Platform 1, Omar Lee, 65 kilos.
Nolan in the hold, Ellie.
What do you think lifters should be aiming for their first attempt on squats?
For first attempt, anything that's super, super safe, something that you can do very comfortably and confidently so that you can get on the board. Because at the end of the day, you can't total if you're not on the board.
That's how it goes, for sure.
Looks like we had a depth call on platform 1. I'm sure he'll come back and make it a bit deeper on his second.
That's one of the tricky things to look for, is one of the expectations that we're going to be looking for today. Matthew Gordon, 167.5, platform 2. Again, another re-rack. So again, sub-junior, ages 14 to 18 years old, just getting their feet wet with powerlifting. Important to familiarize yourself with the rules for a big competition like this.
We have Cassidy Rutledge on platform 1. She's coming out for 75 kilos.
Nicely done by Matthew, though. Good recovery.
Very smooth opener yet. We'll see how Cassidy handles the 75 on her opener. Nice and deep.
Nice, good stuff.
3 white lights for
Great job by
Cassidy.
Cassidy.
Great opener.
What do you think goes through your head when you're asked to re-rack the bar with the heavy weight on your back?
I have never been asked to re-rack, but I think I would panic a little bit, honestly. Like the way some of these sub-juniors are handling it. I'm really impressed. Good for them.
Yeah, it definitely could throw you off.
Yeah, have you ever been asked for a re-rack?
Only on one competition, and when it did, it was the first time ever, and it definitely shook my nerves a little bit. Had to recompose myself fairly fast because the clock is still ticking.
Of course.
And you got to get on the bar pretty fast and still get the squat in. Nolan Beaulieu, 175 kilos.
Oh, so quick for Nolan.
Good for Nolan.
We have Anna Arsenal on platform 1.
Next is Victor.
102.5 kilos. 63 female junior there. Unfortunately, no lift.
Depth call,
Depth
it looks
call.
like.
Yeah, that's right. Usually when there's 2 reds on either side, it's a common indicator for depth. Could also be other infractions, but depth usually the first one to look at. Ellie Maliette, 182.5 kilos. One of our top contenders today in the 66 kilo sub-junior class.
We'll see how he moves this, see how he's feeling on the day.
Yeah, and it certainly can't be understated how young these athletes are. So for them to be competing at a national level like this in their young age is something certainly to be commended for.
How old were you when you started lifting?
I started when I was 21, so at least I'd had my bearings with me a little bit, but I can't imagine powerlifting in high school as you're trying to develop your brain and your body and everything else. Yeah, it really adds to your plate, but it's really cool to see the future of powerlifting right before our eyes.
Absolutely.
How old were you when you first started powerlifting, Brittany?
I was 25,
Yeah.
so not nearly as young as these people.
And we also see we have our masters later on, so
Yeah.
you know, it's really cool to see that powerlifting can start at any age, really.
Right now we have Ethan McDonald on platform 1, taking 110 kilos for his opener. Nice and smooth.
Great stuff.
And then we have Victor LaBelle taking 197.5 on platform 2.
Up next, Sophia, Kaylee, and
Another huge squat opener. Oh, 2 to 1.
Not quite there for depth
I
yet.
would assume, yeah,
second round was started with Zachary.
So we're back to the top on platform 2 with Zachary Vandenberg coming out for his second attempt. And remember, his first attempt was a national squat record. So everything that he does from here on out will top that record.
And then on platform 1, we have Sophia Allen coming back out for 35 kilos. She just had a little bobble on her opener. I'm sure she'll get this no problem on her second.
And to clarify for my first statement, she's not a guest lifter. That's a little bit of
There we go.
bad
That looked
reporting on
clean.
my part.
3 white lights. Good.
Gets
Good
back
comeback.
into the game. Good
Yeah.
stuff.
Next is Kaylee, Georgia, and Grace.
Do you remember your first national record, Brittany?
Oh my gosh, I was looking at it the other day, just a few weeks back, and it was something crazy. It was like maybe a bench of like 120 kilos, and I remember being so proud of it. Now I've pushed it like another 37 kilos, so I'm like, oh man, it's crazy to look how far you've come.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty incredible to see your progress and your journey in that respect.
For sure. It's hard when you're constantly pushing yourself. You kind of lose sight of how far you've actually come, and it's like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, absolutely, especially when you become one of the best. But everybody starts somewhere, and for these lifters, they start today. They starting to build their legacy today.
Kaylee is taking 42.5 for her second over here on platform 1.
Bit tough, but still gets it through.
Yeah, it looks like no depth though, so she'll have another crack at that, I'm sure.
One of my favorite things about watching youth and sub-junior athletes is that it seems like they just have an unlimited amount of energy.
Yeah.
Like they come out to the platform strutting, they
They're
have
ready to rock, yeah.
swag, they have confidence. I'm sure at the same time they're just looking forward to hitting their vape the next time, but that's an aside. But they're, super excited to come out and lift. Versus with Open and Masters, they can kind of be a little bit more stoic, a little more to themselves.
So we have Georgia Lee taking 45 kilos for her second on platform 1. And then we have Samuel McConkey coming out for 130 kilos again for his second.
Georgia Lee smoking that squat, nice and deep.
Yes, lots of room for that. Great job.
Brittany, what do you think would be why would you think it's so important to get your first squat on the board?
Honestly, the first squat I think brings the most nerves to most lifters, myself included. And once your first squat is on the board, you're in the meat, and the nerves can just settle a bit, and you can have fun and just execute the way you know how.
That's right.
There we go.
That's a
We are
good
on the
lift.
board on platform 2, so that is great news.
And for a competition like this, it really adds to your plan, right? When you miss your first squat, okay, now I can't do the jump that I may want
Yeah.
to do because I can risk not getting my second squat, and it can take you out of the game pretty early on.
Grace Lee taking 52.5 kilos, nice and smooth.
Nice, great squat by Grace there.
3 white lights, great lift.
So the importance of getting your first squat really sets the tone for the rest of the day.
It just lets you build the total, and you want to start off on a good note because it kind of sets the mood for the rest of the meet. So definitely something you should be confident with. And if there's a hiccup, something you know you can come back out on your second and smash it again.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. Couldn't have said it better myself. And for the most part, I'm sure everyone here would rather take 9 for 9 than 8 for 9 and so on and so forth.
All right, we have Reese Fowler on platform 1 coming out for 70 kilos, a 5 kilo increase from his opener.
And Matthew Hudson, 142 on platform 2. Good squat by Reese, 70 kilos, nice and easy.
Picture
3
perfect.
white lights.
Next is Omar, Cassidy, and
Let's see how Matthew handles this jump. Opener was nice and smooth. Oh. Yeah, he gets the command.
Nice squat.
Yeah, very good. Oh, we have
2
one
to
red
1.
light.
But that's still a good lift. Save a jury overturn. That's 3 plates at the gym. I remember hitting my first 3 plates. Pretty exhilarating feeling there.
Definitely a great feeling. We have Omar Lee coming out for 75 kilos. He missed his opener on a technicality.
But still went up.
Squat depth, but he
Yeah.
still went up a 10 kilos, so he's pretty confident in that, I'm sure. Oh,
There it is.
nice and deep.
He does a good job of staying with the bar, keeping his position as he drives up. 2 to 1, that's a
Did
good
great
lift.
job. 2 to 1. It looked like he may have taken a little bit of a step after getting the start command, but 2 to 1, it's a good lift.
Don't let our jury know that.
Yeah, right.
What role does the jury play in powerlifting here?
So the jury watches each lift, and they try to look for any blatant mistakes that a referee might make. Our referees are human and mistakes are made, things are missed, and the jury is just overlooking to make sure that every lift is fair.
Have you ever had a jury overturn a lift in your favor or against your favor?
I have had the jury overturn my third squat at my first Worlds to a good lift, and it kept
Wow.
me in the meet.
Wow.
Yeah. So luckily, only good things.
That is so good. Yeah, a jury can really make or break your day if your execution can be a little bit touchy.
For sure.
So that's why there's a big thing in powerlifting where you want to take it out of the judge's hands,
Yep.
be undeniable. Cassie Rutledge, 77.5.
2.5 kilo increase. Oh, nice.
Strong
and smooth.
squat.
Let's see. 3 white
Speaking of
lights.
undeniable, 3 white lights. Can't take that away.
And then Sophia.
All right, we have
Naring.
Matthew Naring. Yeah, coming out for 172.5 kilos. Nice 12.5 kilo jump.
Yeah, from BC. His dad is competing here as well, so a family team.
Oh, nice. I love to see that. I think it's so cool.
Yeah, we got some pretty awesome powerlifting families across Canadian powerlifting.
Looks like platform 1, we have Anna Arsenault coming out. She missed her opener at 102.5 on depth, but she has jumped to 110 anyway, so she should be pretty confident in that.
Still looking good on the board, however. Matthew Nearing with the re-rack command. Each lifter has 1 minute to get their start command. So while there is a little bit of time, we do want to get on our horse a little bit.
Let's see what the judges have.
Big fight from Anna.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
totally.
still a little bit high.
Up next is Ethan.
Strength is there though, so she just has to sink it a little bit more. I'm sure she'll get it on her third.
That's right. No lift for Matthew. It looked like he timed out, didn't get the start command, so he's got to find out what's going on, whether that's his knees or his torso, and try to correct that for his third attempt.
Now we have Ethan McDonald coming out on platform 1. He's taken a 2.5 kilo increase to 112.5 for his second.
So when you're 0-2 in squats, what's going through your mind? How are you trying to bounce back from that?
Honestly, you just have to be in the moment and try to stay as positive as possible, address the issue, and go as confidently as you can. Try and correct the mistakes, because negativity is not going to take you anywhere. So
That's right. And I think it's a little bit easier to reconcile when it's not a strength thing.
Yes.
If it's something like depth or, other minor infraction, you can kind of come back from that. If it's strength, you kind of have to,
I've luckily,
for the
knock on
best.
wood, never been in that position. But
Me neither.
we have Matthew Gordon on platform 2, taking 180 kilos.
Matthew Gordon also pacing for the podium in the 63 sub-junior class.
66. Yep, nice and easy. 3 white lights.
Looking good.
We are on to third attempts on platform 1. We have Sophia Allen starting us off in this round with 47.5 kilos.
Sophia hails from Charlottetown. Made the trip over to Moose Jaw.
Lots of strength there. 3 white lights.
There you
Great
go.
day for
We love to
squats.
see it.
Haley Grace Bartlett.
Great celebration as well. Good day for Sophia.
So we have Nolan coming out on platform 2 for 187.5 kilos. See how he handles that jump.
This is Nolan's
National record.
PR attempt here, with his previous squat best being 185. So he's looking to chip that here.
That's awesome. PR on your second lift. We have Kaylee on platform 1 taking 47.5. It looks just a bit too heavy today. That's okay.
Great attempt though.
Good try. Up next we've got
Still
Grace,
feeling good.
Georgia, and Reese.
And it looks like Nolan has a good lift with a new squat PB.
It'll be fun to see how much he bumps that for his
Yeah,
third.
we'll see how much he can push that.
Yeah. I love watching the sub-junior lifters and junior lifters making these huge PRs, where I'm like, I worked so many years for this 1 kilo PR.
That's the nature of adaptation. And then when you start from a young age, it feels like the progress is coming every single day.
I know, it's so cool.
And then when you get to your level, I'm sure you're working months and
Yeah.
months for the next little bit. So
I know, I'm like, don't take this for granted,
Yeah.
guys.
it's the little things like the 2.5 kilo PBs that we want to really enjoy.
We have Eli Millette coming out for 192.5 for his second. Nice 10 kilo increase. And we have Grace on platform 1 coming out for 53.5, so that's a national record. She is successful there. We will see.
Squat. Oh, gets it up.
Yeah, lots of strength there.
But if you notice, she did shuffle her feet a little bit during the beginning of the squat, which immediately nullifies the record, or nullifies the attempt, because you got to keep your feet planted.
Yeah, once you get the start command, you can't move your feet. So strength is there. I'm sure she'll have it next time.
You've had a couple national records so far, a national record attempt so far, and you were able to catch them pretty fast. How do you determine a national attempt versus a regular attempt?
So a national record sticks out because the increments aren't generally within 2.5 increments. They can chip them. You can add 0.5 to a national record rather than 2.5 or 1 kilo. So any odd number that isn't in a 2.5 increment is definitely a national record.
1.1 pound, the lowest denomination there.
So we have Georgia Lee taking 55 kilos for her third. And we have Victor LaBelle coming out for 197.5. He missed it on his opener, but I'm sure he will come back and get it now on his second.
Victor is also our nominated total favorite, so I think it's imperative that he gets his squat to stay in the game,
Yeah,
to
let's
stay in the
see.
running.
Oh, super strong. We'll see what the referees have to say about it.
Nice work there. And that's
Yeah, 2 to
2 white lights.
That's all we need is 2 to 1. He's on the board.
Now we're on the third lift, starting off with Zach.
Yeah, I'm going to be curious to see what he comes out with for his third, if he's going to try to pace in this, what seems to be pretty competitive, 66 kilo class so far.
Yeah, will he take the jump he wanted for his third? Somewhere in the middle, take the safe second? Who knows? We have Reese Fowler with his third of 80 kilos, a 10 kilo increase. We'll see how he handles this.
Zach, your timing out.
And is that potentially Reese Fowler of the Fowler family?
It is Reese Fowler of the Fowler family.
Fantastic.
It is Reese.
And that's a fantastic Fowler
Yeah,
squat.
beautiful
by
3 white
Reese.
lights. It looks like Zachary is timing out on platform 2. He is also part of a family trio. He, his sister, and his dad are competing today, and his mom is tomorrow, I believe.
Very cool. Wow.
Yeah, so all 4 of them here today.
It's a whole family affair.
Yeah, whole family affair. They're our Ontario powerlifting family, so we all know them.
Very cool. Gassie Rutledge, 80 kilos, platform 1. On platform 2, what is the significance of timing out or not coming out for one of your attempts?
So you can either scratch a lift and you just don't go in the order, or you can time out, and timing out is generally seen as a bit more respectful for your fellow lifters because it doesn't cut a minute out of their prep time, so they know exactly how long they have until their next lift. Whereas if you just drop, it just skips a whole minute before you have to take your next attempt.
Straight into the hole, up and down for Cassidy. That's 3 for 3 on squats. Great lift. Show rows on for platform 2. Coming up next is Samuel McConkey representing the 59 kilo class, 137.5 kilos. This is just north of 300 pounds. Omar Lee, platform 180 kilos.
Bars loaded for Omar.
U3. There we go. Getting the
A little
crowd
bit
hyped
of
up.
hype, yeah.
U3, so 13 years.
13, yeah.
13 years young, competing in
Crazy.
nationals.
So cool. I didn't even know powerlifting existed when I was 13 years old.
Me neither.
Oh, he pauses it. He's
Straight up,
pushing, he's
straight
fighting
up.
it. Oh.
Oh.
Just a bit too much today.
Good attempt, but we do
Samuel
want
is
athletes to stay
fighting
with the
his
bar.
third. Yeah, 3 white lights for Samuel. What's the importance of staying with the bar if you fail a lift?
It's just the safety of the spotters and loaders and the courtesy of the others. Staying with the bar allows them to be able to control the bar and bring it back up, versus as you take your hands off the bar, there's a little bit more potential for the bar to move around and fall over. So it's important to just make sure that we have a good grip on the bar so we can control it on the way up.
Absolutely. So we have a really important lift coming up on platform 1. We have Anna Arsenault coming back out for 110 kilos. She needs to get this squat in to stay in the competition. She's just struggling a bit with depth.
That's right, yeah. I was just going to say, we've discussed that a little bit here. So hopefully she's done what she's needed to do to mentally prepare. Here we go.
And then on platform 2, we have Matthew Hudson coming out for 147.5, so 5 kilo increase from his second. Oh, not quite there today.
No lift for Anna, unfortunately.
Up next is Ethan, and it's a national record.
Big fight for Matthew.
Yeah, beautiful third attempt. Picture perfect call in my
There we
opinion.
go. That's a great third attempt. And on platform 1, Ethan McDonald, I believe I was told this was a national
Yeah, I
attempt.
think I heard that.
How do you feel about this 20 kilo jump?
That is a massive, massive jump, but
Got nothing to lose? Do you think
Yeah.
that's what it is?
got nothing to lose. You're at nationals. You might as well take a crack at it if you're somewhat confident that you can do it.
Because you can't just compete or break national records at any event.
Honestly, if I'm looking at the numbers, it looks like they may have missed putting in their second attempt. They were forced to take the 2.5 jump, so maybe this was his planned third.
Yeah, that's
That
a
could
good
have
call.
happened, yeah.
Because if you don't get your card in within 60 seconds, you get automatically bumped up 2.5 kilos.
Yeah, because
Do
he
you-
did take a very small jump and it flew, so we'll see how he handles this
Here we
jump.
go.
Oh, yeah,
Ooh,
confidence
good
there.
squat. We'll see about depth.
Yeah, Wallace on.
Oh, that's a national record.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
good job.
Moved that pretty comfortably. What are the odds you think he took his second in the back?
Yeah, I don't know, because that's a big jump to just
20 kilos is a big jump.
jump randomly. Yeah, maybe.
But if not, well done.
Yeah, that was handled really well. So platform 1 is done with squats, so we will just finish off platform 2 right now. We have Wallace coming out for 182.5 kilos. That's another 20 kilo jump as a 66 sub junior.
I'm loving these sub juniors throwing caution to the wind.
Yeah, to be young again.
Unfortunately,
just a
no
bit
good.
too heavy today. Oh,
Way to stay with the bar.
Sorry, go lift.
good job to our spotting and loading team. They're working really hard this week.
Up next is Matthew Gordon. On deck is Roland.
And I think this really speaks to the importance of attempt selection and making sure that our numbers are appropriate to what we've done and what we can do. Like we've kind of been discussing, a 20 kilo jump is pretty crazy. And not
Especially
something-
at such a small body weight, like
Correct.
that's a very, very big percentage.
you know, and yeah, you know, maybe these sub juniors are feeling confident, but you also want to make sure that you're making the right jumps to not only stay in the game and stay competitive, but also building the total like we've talked about.
Absolutely. So we have Matthew Gordon going for 190 kilos, a 10 kilo jump.
A little bit more on the safer side, but
Yeah.
yeah, this is still a 400-pound plus squat as a sub junior, so pretty incredible to see.
It's a massive squat. 66
Mathieu
kilo
Gordon.
weight class.
I'm looking at a future 105er.
Yeah, for
This
sure.
guy's got room.
Beautiful third attempt.
Nicely done.
Got 3 white lights.
That is a good lift. Well done. Nolan Beaulieu, 192.5
Up next
in the
is Nolan.
66s.
On deck is Lily. In the hole is Victor.
5 kilo jump. We'll see how he handles that. It should be pretty comfortable, I think, based on his second.
Bar loaded. No change for second round. Flight B.
And while platform 1 is setting up for bench, we have a second flight going for platform 2. So we'll stay with the action there. Great squat.
Beautiful third
Nice
squat for
job.
Nolan.
What are you kind of hoping to see on your third squats? Like, what do you think can be expected?
I think the third squat's always going to be a bit of work, but something that you can pretty comfortably grind through. But it also depends, you know, some competitions you're able to risk it a little bit more. Sometimes you have to take the safer option. It just depends if you're in the running for podium. You sometimes have to play a little safer. If you're not really in any competition, then you can risk it a little bit more. But yeah, something I think that you know will be work, but that you're pretty confident based on your training that you have.
And in your personal strategy, do you oftentimes try to max it, like get every kilo that you can on squats? You try to save a little bit for potentially a deadlift, bigger deadlift down the line.
Honestly, the position I'm normally in, I have to play the safe bet, so it's what I know or what my coaches know I confidently can hit that day.
So you kind of come in knowing that you might have to, leave a little bit on the
Yeah.
tank and just to save some gas.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's just the nature of the competition when you're competing in high levels, and every lift counts.
Yep.
197.5 for Mr. Maliette.
And I know we have some sub-junior battles going on right now, so I wonder if they're risking a bit or holding back, playing safe.
That's right.
Beautiful third squat. We'll see what the referees say. Yeah.
And that's a good lift.
3 white lights.
Yeah, just seeing how the squats are coming out. This might come to the last couple deadlifts to see how the standings shake out.
That's always the most fun when it comes down to the last pulls and they're jockeying for position.
Victor Labelle, 202.5, 446 pounds. Man, I could never imagine squatting 400 pounds at 18 years old.
No way.
There we go. And so it's been pretty incredible to see how powerlifting has grown even within the high school demographic. We're seeing a lot of, high-level athletes coming out from high school, entering into powerlifting all
And
across.
the progress they're making is so monumental right now.
100%.
So cool.
There we go.
Nice.
That's a great third attempt there.
Yep. A little bit of room. 2 to 1. Good lift. That's all
Nicely
we
done.
need.
Nicely done. And we're seeing, post grad schools offering powerlifting scholarships and having powerlifting programs. So, the pathway to develop and move into the higher levels is becoming more accessible, which is really cool to see.
Yeah.
I believe there's some universities in Ontario that offer powerlifting programs.
I think there are now, yeah. I think it's super cool and seeing the sport grow, and like maybe this year we'll have some representation at University Cup, because I don't know that
Yeah,
we've really sent
definitely.
athletes
Yeah,
from
definitely.
Canada to that, but I think it'd be really cool.
Even in BC, a couple different universities have started powerlifting, weightlifting clubs, have gone to host competitions, so they really, get to be involved in the community and give back while also participate in a sport that they love.
All right, on to Flight B on Platform 2. We have Tunir Mady, coming out for 127.5 for his opener. He is a 74 sub-junior.
So 163-pound underclass. Nice and tidy on his squat opener.
It's exactly what you want a squat opener to look like, nice and smooth.
On deck is Raphael and hold Brian.
Get on the board, build some confidence, and start building that total up.
100%. The 74 classes is also another class today that should be exciting to watch. We've got a strong top 3 here that will be vying for the podium, so we'll have to see how that shakes out. Elliot Fafard, 157.5 next.
How do you like your opener to feel? Do you like it to be smoke show, or you like it a
Oh,
little work? Or?
I like to make it move fast.
Yeah.
It's definitely, like you mentioned, like a big confidence booster. It sets the tone for the rest of the competition and allows you to get in your zone. I can imagine even for you competing at a high level, you still feel those nerves a little bit. So just getting your first squat in there goes a long way.
Yeah, for sure. Looks like we got a re-rack command for this one. We'll see if he gets the start now. Yeah, there we go. Maybe not quite upright enough because it looked like his knees were locked, but maybe they're seeing from a different angle.
Definitely.
3 white lights. He handled the re-rack well.
100%. Like we were talking about, you kind of get your confidence shaken a little bit and you have to recompose yourself fairly fast. So being able to do that and get your squat in, good start.
Now we have Raphael Boucard coming out for 162.5 for his opener.
I can imagine for a lot of these lifters, this may be their first time competing at a high level like this, competing with many people in their category. Oftentimes, at least here at BC, in the sub-junior class, there may be like 1 or 2 people competing with you. So here there's 7, or pardon me, 9 sub-juniors within this class. So
Yeah,
it creates for a
oftentimes
competitive.
you're by yourself, and as long as you total, you win. But now there's pressure and lots of other really strong lifters.
Totally. So we'll have to see how these athletes handle that pressure as the competition unfolds here. How do you kind of handle that pressure? I mean, obviously you compete at Worlds, you compete at Sheffield this year. Is it, you try to just play your game, or you just trying to play the field? Like, what kind of goes through your head?
My head, I'm just think as little as possible. Just trust myself. Like I've done the work, I've put in the effort. I trust my coaches fully. So you just kind of do what you know how to do and don't think because otherwise I get in my head and start panicking.
Yeah, I agree. And even just doing bench only yesterday, I had to talk to my friend, my coach, and I'd be like, hey, I'm just going to turn my brain off. You do the numbers and just let me do my thing. And he was like, yeah, sounds good. So, when
Perfect.
you're the athlete, it's almost like the easiest job. All you got to do is go out there and execute.
Honestly, I find handling way more stressful than competing. We have Brian Huang coming out for 175 for his squat opener.
Ryan's squat is 385 pounds. Moves like smoke.
Nice and smooth. We'll see. Referees 2-1.
Nice.
It's a good lift.
And I love that opener. It will be a good indication oftentimes for how the day is going to go. Because when you start strong with a good squat, it feels like you can kind of lift anything. The potential for the day is really high. Versus when you're squatting and it's a little bit tougher, it kind of like limits what you might be able to do. So, yeah, you just have more options made available to you with a good squat opener.
For sure. And depending how much you pour into your squats, you gas yourself a bit too much. It takes a toll on your later lifts. So definitely worth trying, but not totally blowing your face off, hopefully.
Oh, wow, that was an incredible fast opener.
Yeah. Super quick opener there.
Loic plants with the 180 squat. Next up, Jacobo Leon, who is coming into this contest nominated second in the 74 class, 185 for the opener, so just north of 405.
We're getting into some crazy big openers right now. So some of the lifters are lifting in flats, some are lifting in heels. What are some of the benefits of either, and what do you use personally?
Yeah, definitely. Flats and heels are, or it's one of the biggest debates in contests, and it really depends on kind of like your leverages.
Oop, a little bobble there.
Quite a bit of oscillation actually,
Yeah.
and fortunately the squatters were able to jump in fast. So important to make sure to maintain your balance as you squat down into the hole there, and that kind of goes back to what we were just talking about with
Yes,
the squat
exactly.
shoes. Having a heeled shoe kind of allows you to be a little bit more full forward and get your knees forward a little bit, and so if you feel like you're limited in your mobility in that capacity with your ankles and knees, it can be a little bit more helpful. Versus with flats, which I personally choose, you're able to stay a little more grounded, a little more connected to the floor. And if you don't have those issues with mobility, then you kind of, and no issues squatting to depth, and that kind of helps to maintain that position. Where do you stand on that?
I used to be a heeled lifter. I switched about a year and a half ago, and I really am preferring the flats right now, yeah.
Definitely.
But I used to have mobility issues, so once I corrected that, I was able to.
Yeah, and that can help to kind of move that along that paradigm there.
Micah just smoked his opener at 190.
Micah also in the running for the podium here in the 74s. Up next, we have our nominated favorite, Anthony Vaillancourt, opening at 210 kilos.
Openers for bench on platform 1, 5 minutes and change openers on platform 1.
So this is a pretty insane opener.
Yeah.
451 pounds. And he's not even the last person to come out, so we're going to be in for a treat for this 74 squat session.
I can't wait to see how this battle shakes out. We'll see how their openers are looking, how squat goes.
Brittany, is it me or does everybody have the same haircut?
No, they do.
Okay, thank God.
It's a thing.
It's a thing? Okay.
Apparently.
I'm digging it. I'm digging the look, but I just want to know if they all coordinated beforehand.
They must have
Or
a
if
big
they-
group chat on Instagram. This
they-
is the cut.
They all go to the same barber.
Yeah. That was a picture perfect spot in my
Beautiful
opinion.
squat.
Yeah. 3 white lights from the referees. No notes there.
And rounding out the flight, we have Lyle Babin, 215 kilos. That's loaded on the bar.
Such a big squat opener. Such a young kid.
Yeah, no kidding. And, you know, a lot of these athletes, hopefully they stick around. They're just going to keep building on these numbers, and who knows. I feel like when you're starting off powerlifting at a young age, it really feels like the sky is the limit for you. And the only thing that kind of like is stopping you is yourself and the mentality that you may carry. Brittany, as someone who's been in powerlifting for so long, like, what do you think it is that like keeps you involved in the sport?
Definitely the community aspect pulls me in. I did just go through a period of burnout, but I found my passion again. Finding your why, I think, is really important, and it changes over time, right?
Definitely. Great squat by Lyle, who looks like it's coached with the core group from Alberta, so that's exciting. They're always bringing in a lot of really cool athletes there. Yeah, I definitely agree. I had my own, bouts of burnout, lead me to take a step back from the sport. But, through that, you kind of find different avenues to kind of fill your time. I think what happens a lot is people get wrapped up in powerlifting as their identity.
Yeah, for sure.
They become one with their numbers, and if their numbers aren't improving, they kind of feels like
Life is bad.
their
it's
self-worth
tough,
kind of
though.
gets taken away. But it's when you're so strong and you're so competitive, it's hard not to get kind of tied up in that. But taking a step back to take steps forward is oftentimes what's necessary. And there's a reason why the junior hump exists. So hopefully anyone listening to this commentary will recognize that there's more to life than just SBD, and keep pushing. But here we have our second attempt by Tunir, 135, looking good.
Yeah, a little bit of work, but second probably should be.
Nice, pacing well. Platform 1 should be starting fairly soon here. We have 4.5 minutes to go before we start off on bench. This will be an interesting commentary for us, Brittany, as we have one platform squatting and one platform benching. But up to the task. Up next, Elliot Fafard, 167.5.
10 kilo increase, and based on how all these openers moved, I'm pretty confident that's doable.
I remember doing my first competition at 74 as a junior, and I was not hitting these numbers. I was just happy to just get 315 on the board, on the squat, 225 bench, the deal, and just have a good time, compete, and meet new people. But for these athletes to be competing at a national level and lifting these weights.
Yeah, it's crazy how fast the sport is progressing.
And that's a good lift.
Up next is Raphael.
Did you notice from Elliot there when the bar was kind of dragging down on one side a little bit?
Yeah, it looked like maybe it wasn't just quite centered on his back.
How do you think that might affect him for his third, or not affect him?
Yeah, I think he'll just need to hopefully set up a bit better, and hopefully it didn't jeopardize any of his muscles. He's young and hopefully resilient, but I know as older lifters would be like, oh, that's an injury for the next 3 years, but
I'm gonna feel that tomorrow.
yeah, right. Just a bit crooked. I think he'll reset and come back out for a really strong third.
Good notes. Raphael Bouchard, 172.5 on the bar. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, that's a really good second.
Good lift by Raphael.
On deck is Jacob in the hose.
And in addition to the competitive nature of powerlifting now, when I first started off powerlifting, like, coaches were pretty far and few in between. And, oftentimes you go to a competition and kind of just handle yourself and run numbers for yourself. Here we're finding, especially at a national level, it's important to have a coach, or at least, like you mentioned, have a handler that kind of gets you and gets your vibe and your mentality to help best coach you. What do you think the significance of having a coach that's in your corner like that, and that like, and how that helps your performance.
I think it just takes a lot of the stress off you. You can focus on just your lifting rather than lifting and the numbers and the scorecard and what is this competitor doing and what is this person doing. It just kind of allows you to focus on your day, your competition, rather than all the other outside factors.
Yeah, totally. And so you've been working with Bryce Krawczyk, Calgary Barbell, for a while now. What do you think it is about him and his attitude, his persona that feels very like supportive for you?
We just kind of get each other.
Yeah.
It took a few months to
Yeah.
build that relationship up.
Yeah.
But yeah, once you find somebody that you click really well with, you kind of become really good friends because you spend so much time talking together and going through really big things together. So
Totally. A lot of it is about the vibes, right?
Yeah.
Comparing vibes, compatibility. Up next, Jacobo Leon, 185, retaking his opener here.
just a bit of balance on this one, correct?
I noticed that. Yeah, I remember that as well. So it would be important to get the squad in, stay in the games, and stay pacing with other athletes.
Yeah, he should be fine. I'm sure it's just a small correction. Probably just nerves, honestly, for that first squad. Like we were talking about,
agree.
it's always the most nerve-wracking lift of the day.
You also notice that with the wider stance, though, it can be a little bit easier to lose balance.
Yeah. There he goes. He
There
nails
you
it on
go.
his second.
Nice, made it look like an opener.
Yeah, 3 white lights.
Good. And so how do you find the wide versus the narrow, the toes out versus the toes straight, and how that might affect your squat?
Yeah, I've never really experimented at all with wider squats because my adductors just lag a little bit.
Okay,
so
yeah.
the least we can use the adductors, the better.
In
How
your
about
case,
you?
for
Do you
sure.
squat wide or narrow?
I'm pretty narrow. I've got
Are
a
you?
pretty anatomically textbook quote unquote squat. Not that that really exists, but yeah, for me to be able to stay upright and stay over my quads while I'm over my midfoot has allowed me to have a pretty efficient squat pattern. So haven't had to play around with the width too much.
Perfect.
We're already starting on platform 1 here with Georgia Lee, or are we starting in 10 seconds?
10
I think we might be
seconds,
starting okay, perfect. That makes more sense there.
And
Yeah, so we'll get started with that. But Micah Waddell, 197. I think he just hit that, so we'll move on.
No, he's just coming up
Oh, okay,
now.
perfect. Good
We just had
call.
Plant with 192.
Perfect. All right. See, the two lifts is already messing up my timing.
And I think this is a national record. Are you voting for Micah?
So we have Georgia Lee coming out for her bench opener. Looks like 25 kilos.
And I think I may have heard that was a national record, which is exciting.
Yeah, we have a national record on one of the... Yeah, it has to be this one. Yeah, so we'll see how she handles that.
Oh, just like that. There we go.
Beautiful. Yep, 3 white
Nice.
lights.
Georgia Lee, national record holder. Has a nice ring to it.
And then we have Micah Waddell now taking the 197.5 on platform 2 for his second squat.
All right, we are back on track. Here we go.
Bear with us. It took us a second to figure out what's going on.
All right.
Pretty great second there. On platform 1, we have Kaylee Fair coming out for 25 kilos as well. She is a 43 kilo youth 3 lifter.
Nice. Perfect. Okay, cool. All right, and on platform 2, Anthony Valancourt, 222.5.
We have a good lift on platform 1. Getting those bench openers in.
Up next is Grace, Sophia, and Omar.
Grace Lebrecq, platform 1, 27.5 kilos. They're bringing out the foot blocks for her. Have you ever had to use foot blocks?
I tried experimenting with them because I have like weirdly short legs, but sometimes they're not the most reliable thing. They've gotten better over the years, I
That's
think,
good,
but
yeah.
They just help the lifter have a little bit more height so that they can plant their feet flat
Yeah.
in order to get the start command and get a little bit more anchorage into the ground.
So as we know, with short legs, it's hard to reach the floor.
Especially some of these youth lifters, they're so small.
Yeah. But hey, they're lifting big weights, so
Huge weights.
they're making it look good.
Let's see how Anthony's second squat goes over here on platform 2.
Ooh,
Nice and
great
smooth.
control on the squats there.
Yeah, lots of room there, I'd say.
And I think what really separates Anthony from the field here is that he's able to make his squats look controlled. He's got good power coming out of the hole. And yeah, he's staying composed. You know,
Yeah.
we've seen a bit of nerves from the athletes, which is totally normal. And they've all recovered really, really well. But when you're able to hold yourself to a higher level of poise and confidence, yeah, you're really able to control the weight and kind of dominate the platform a little bit more. Bit of a mental
So
advantage in that capacity.
platform 1, we have Sophia Allen coming out for 32.5 for her opener, and then we have Lyle Babin with 227.5 for his second squat
Lyle's got our first 500-pound squat of the day,
of the competition.
of the
even.
competition.
Yeah.
Because we had bench only. yesterday.
Yeah.
That would have been weird if somebody was squatting 500 or bench only. Bit of work, but gets it up.
Yeah. See what the lights say.
3 white lights. But it does give credence to, or it calls into question, like what kind of jumps you would think you'll be able to make from there as well. Because like we talked about, do you want to try to push for every kilo and maybe go for a 5, or do you think it might be a little bit safer
Yeah,
to go
take
for
the
the 2.5
safe.
and kind of pace the field there? So,
If I had to guess, I'd say they go for the 5, but we'll see.
but these are the questions that
These
your
are
coach
they are big
kind of
questions.
thinking about and kind of processing in real time, in the moment as you are competing. And these are fast things that are happening.
So we had Omar Lee, who went for 35, but it looked like he jumped the start command. Yeah, he just jumped the start command, so I'm sure he'll make that adjustment and hit it on his second.
Starting off our third attempts for platform 2 here to near Métis, 145, 319.
10 kilo jump from a second.
Nicely done.
Perfect call.
Way to fight for every kilo out of that one.
We have Reese Fowler on platform 1, coming out for 40
A
kilos.
no lift, but one that you can definitely check in with the jury on. I think there might be an argument there.
Yeah, we'll see if the coach heads over to the jury. We'll see.
Reese
If
Fowler.
not, definitely a gym PR there.
Definitely JPR. Reese Fowler with the Fowler family, 40 kilos. Nicely done.
Nice opener there. 3 white lights.
That's probably going to be his first of like 20 national
At least.
national meets in the next 20 years. He's
All
looking
right.
at his future.
We have Elliot coming out for his third of 175 kilos. It's another big milestone, just the 3 reds. Still a bit crooked on the back. We'll see if he can push through. Oh, what a fight.
What is?
He stands it up. We'll see what the referees have to say. That was a good 2-1.
White lights.
Beautiful.
Thank God there were clips on that bar.
Yeah, holy.
Hey, I'll take things that sub-juniors can get away with
Yeah.
for 500.
Things that would break me for a year. So we have Cassidy taking 47.5. Makes quick work
Nice
of that.
job. Yeah, pretty good grind from Elliot. I think tops for the day so far.
Yeah.
But yeah,
We should start a running of best nationals grinds. That'll be number 1 for now. We'll see if anybody else
that'll
can
be
put a
my
bigger
holding
grind in.
favorite for sure. But yeah, 175 with the bar sliding off your back there.
We have Raphael Bouchard coming out for 177.5 for his third.
Was that shelf built from IKEA? Because that did not break. All right, Anna Arsenault, 47.5. Unfortunately, did not put up a valid squat, but will still be able to finish out the competition. Some miscommunication from the load, so we'll get that sorted out. Back to the action on 2. We have Brian Huang, 192.5.
There we go. Looks like we have the proper lid on 1 now. All right, Brian comes out for a 7.5 kilo increase. We'll see how he handles that.
So far, 2 for 2, 424 on the bar. All right, back to platform 1. Anna Arsenault, 47. We figured that out. Nice, easy opener from Anna there.
Yeah, made quick work of that for sure.
Good
3 white
stuff.
lights. Brian gets a replace command.
Hopefully he can compose himself. Probably got still a little bit of time left.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a bit of time. Make the appropriate adjustment. Get the start command here, hopefully. There we go.
There we go. Oh yeah, good push.
He's fighting.
That's
yeah.
it. Nice.
Great fight for that third.
Nice. Awesome smile to finish it out. 2 white lights.
Platform 1, we have
Left.
Ethan McDonald. He's coming out for 60 kilos for his opener.
Up next is Jacob. On deck is Micah and then Hope.
So Ethan coming out with 1 plate, 132. Yeah, U3 lifting 132. That's pretty solid.
wild.
That is pretty solid. Out of body weight, just shy of 110.
Yeah.
There we go.
Smoke show, too.
Woo, we got room there.
We have Jacobo Leon coming out for his third of 192.5.
Jacobo's best squat is 200, so due to the missed opener, this is a little bit under that, so it should be, you know, within the realm of possibility.
Yeah, hopefully he gets that on the board, collects the extra kilos to his total.
Just stacking them up, that's right. There we go.
Yeah,
Nice.
beautiful.
Nicely done. So probably a bit less than what he may have been expecting, but, you know, still solid, 192. Gets him in a good position.
Up next is Micah.
We have Kaylee taking her second on platform 1. Bit of a grind.
She gets it up, though.
We'll see what the referees say.
Good lift.
Yeah, 2-1.
Good
Good
job.
lift. We had one call, it looked like maybe a bit of up down, but only one ref called it, so it's a good lift.
Bars loaded.
All right, Grace is going to look to add to her national record 29.5 kilos.
And then we have Micah Waddell coming out on platform 2 for his third of 202.5 kilos.
446 pounds. Dang, imagine going to high school being like, yeah, I got a bench record. I got a national bench
Yeah.
record. What up? It's like that meme where it's like, these people don't know I have a bench record.
Yeah, yeah.
You're like sitting in math class and you're like, you don't know I have a bench record? What's up with that?
It's so cool to be collecting national records at such a young age, too.
No doubt. Great third squat by
Great
Micah.
third,
Good lift.
Strong third. 3 for 3 on squats.
Up next is Kobe. On deck is Anthony and then holds Lyle.
All right, so Loic Plant, platform 2, 205, 451. Having some trouble on platform 1, but that's okay. She can recover a little bit longer.
Yeah, they just want to make sure it's loaded properly for her national record. as well.
Correct, yeah. Here we go, Grace.
Bars loaded.
There we go. Oh, with
yeah,
room.
lots
with
of room there. 3 white lights, too.
Nicely
Beautiful.
done. Give her the certificate now.
Yeah. Well, she has to collect the third one
Yeah.
first.
Loic Plant, 205. Good control into the hole.
Oh,
Ooh.
just a bit pitched forward, I would say.
I agree. Good job, spotters, catching the bar.
Up next is Anthony. On deck is Lyle.
Platform 1, we have Georgia Lee coming out for her second. It looks like we've taken a 5 kilo increase to 30 kilos. Her opener was very smooth, so it should be nice and good for her.
5 kilo jump's pretty big, though,
That is
Brittany.
a big jump, especially she's 47 kilos. Tiny. We'll see.
Bars loaded.
Oh, there we go. I
Yeah.
stand corrected. Nice
Yep,
job.
nice and smooth there.
Great work.
Platform 2, we have Anthony Valancourt coming out for 230 kilos, a 7 kilo jump from his second.
Nice, respectable 7 kilo jump
Yeah.
there. Second looked pretty good, too, so, you know, feeling confident about this third.
And then on platform 1, we have Omar Lee coming back out for 35 kilos. He just jumped the start command on the first, so missed the lift, but the strength shouldn't be an issue. I'm sure he'll get it on the second one.
Nicely done. Good
Nice.
push.
That was a good attempt selection, if I do say so. 3 white
100%.
links.
Yep.
All right, let's see how Omar handles this one.
After Y, we're taking a 10-minute break.
There you go. He gets the start command.
There we go. Perfect.
Perfect.
Yeah, well done.
Lots of room for his third too.
Nice. I like that he was able to recompose after his first attempt, come out feeling confident, and smoke his second attempt. So, yeah, it'll be exciting to see what he does for his third.
Platform 2, we have Lyle Babin coming out for 232.5 kilos for his third attempt.
Lyle's going to be the last squat of Platform 2 for this session. So it's really awesome to see how he can finish out the flight here.
We have Sophia Allen on Platform 1 with 37.5 kilos, another 5 kilo jump.
Nice.
Good squat by Lyle, 3 white legs.
Yeah, I think Lyle's third squat looked even better than his second.
Yeah, I think so. Sometimes that's the case though. You get a little in your head, make a tiny mistake.
Yeah. If you have a bit of an untidy second, like, do you go back there and talk with Bryce or whoever, and does he say anything to kind of get you amped up, or is it more just like, stay the course, you know, do the thing and keep it going?
So I actually had that happen at Sheffield just a few weeks back, and yeah, my second, I just hit the hole really hard and just lost positioning a bit. He was just like, you need to make sure you stay tight when you hit the hole. That was all he said. 'Cause I know what I'm doing.
Totally,
I know
of
I
course.
messed up. Feel it better the next time, and yeah, my third ended up being better than my second.
So through
Sometimes
that,
it
did you
happens.
take a lower third than you planned for, or did you just...
Yeah,
you
it
know,
was a lower
yeah.
third than I planned for.
And I
but
think that's a tricky thing because you know you could have done better and you know you could have made your second look better, but the only thing you can do is follow the information that you have, which is what you did for your second, so the third has to be planned for accordingly. But it's hard. I've been in the same boat when I'm like, oh, I know I can hit my top end for my third as long as I just do X, Y, Z.
as long as it
But
goes
that's the
picture
thing.
perfect, yeah.
Exactly. But I didn't do that for my second, so, you know.
Reese had a great second attempt there. We'll be interested to see what he puts in for his third.
And next up is Cassidy Rutledge, 50 kilos, so 110 pounds, representing the 63 kilo class in the Special Olympic division. That's another thing that we haven't really touched on too much, but the Special Olympics of powerlifting has really, you know, become quite popular.
It has.
Within the last couple of years. I know even in BC we have a strong contingent of Special O athletes.
Yeah.
My sister coaches one of the divisions within BC on the island there, so that's really cool to see. But yeah, having Special Olympics be represented in the national picture, and that was a great bench there.
3 highlights, no issues there. Great job.
Yeah, do you have any connection with the Special Olympic community in Ontario or within the broader powerlifting community?
I know several people who are coaching special athletes in Ontario, which is really cool.
Yeah.
It's been fun to see it grow because my first nationals, I don't remember any special O athletes, but now it's just growing and growing, and I think it's really, really cool, the inclusion in the sport too.
100%, and I think it's really cool to see, like, you know, the picture there is getting bigger, and you know, I wouldn't be surprised within the next year or so we might have a full flight of Special Olympic athletes, and then, you know, carrying on that fourth.
So now we have Anna Arsenault. She took a 5 kilo jump to 52.5 kilos, handled it really well.
Nice job. Coming from PEI, making the trip out to Moose Jaw. You
Bit
know,
of a trip.
yeah, obviously it's you know, a bit unfortunate to bomb out in squats, but the fact that you can still rally and still, you know, try to aim for personal best in the subsequent disciplines is still a huge feat in your own right. You know, coming out all this way and spending all this money.
And I mean, to miss out on squats, and still she's putting together a really good bench performance.
100%.
So that takes a lot of mental fortitude, honestly.
I agree. Yeah, it's not easy to miss several lifts and then still want to be competitive or still want to go out and compete. But
good on her.
To go out and do that is really cool.
So we have Ethan McDonald with 67.5 kilos, a 7.5 kilo jump as a 59 youth lifter. That's a pretty big jump, but we'll see how he handles that.
Yeah, he smoked 60.
Yeah, it was so fast.
Oh yeah,
Beautiful,
that was great.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Still room to go. We'll see what he puts in for his third.
Yeah, no kidding. I wouldn't be surprised if he can bench 2 pretty soon.
Yeah.
Kaylee Fear, 28.5, another national record on the board, starting us off on our third attempts.
Stacking those records up.
Save some records for the rest of us, right?
I know,
oh my
right?
goodness. Well, maybe not you, but.
I mean, she's smoking record after record. I'm like, maybe I'll try to chip my record by 0.5. She's just blowing this record up by kilos, so it's so cool.
Exactly.
Platform 2, we are 5 minutes 45
He always comes out with good
seconds
energy so
from
far in this competition. Always pumped to
starting,
hit her
2
next
minutes
lifts.
45 seconds to change your opening count.
Oh, there we go. Ooh.
Let's see if she walks that left elbow out. We'll see what the referees have to say.
Oh, no
2-1, no
lift.
lift, unfortunately.
Unfortunate. Yeah, no kidding.
We have one call for up-down movement and one yellow card, which could be for butt lift,
Hands,
foot
yeah.
lift, head, all sorts of
All
different
sorts
things.
of stuff. But still, a valiant attempt, was still able to get it up. You know,
Gym PR.
to finish out the lift. So
She
that's-
collected 2 national records in bench, so
Hey.
hard to walk away with your head hung too low about
yeah,
that.
exactly. She's so little, you know. It's like your body hasn't even
Yeah.
developed. Like you're all cartilage, right? Like
It'll be so cool to see her as she progresses in her powerlifting journey over the years.
yeah, definitely something to keep an eye on in future competitions.
Now we have Grace also coming out for a national record, 31.5 kilos. She took the national record again on her second of 29.5. So 2 kilo increase now, which is pretty big for a small youth lifter. We'll see how she handles this.
She's coached by Byron Wiley of Wiley Strength, Alberta contingent. Yeah, I wonder what the conversation is there. We're in the
Yeah.
back. You're like, okay, so do you want half kilo?
Yeah.
1 kilo? 2 kilo? I choose 2. Okay,
Yeah.
let's go.
We pick 2.
There we go.
See how this goes for her.
Nice.
Yeah, she locks it out.
There we go. Coach Byron put it in doing a limit lift for bench.
Yeah.
And that is a new national record. Congratulations to Grace.
What a great job, yeah.
Next up, 32.5 kilos for Georgia Lee.
So a 2 kilo jump from her second, which is the smallest jump you can make in powerlifting unless it is a record. It's 2.5 kilos.
And in bench, that 2.5 kilo may not feel like a lot, but it certainly adds up.
It sneaks up
stacks
on you
the bar,
so fast.
for sure. And, you know, like we've been talking about at a competition like this where every lift matters, every kilo counts, you know, sometimes the best option is the 2.5.
Yep. Play it safer.
Push,
She
push,
fights
push.
through that.
Whoa.
Locks it out. We'll see what the refs say. 3 white lights. Great lift.
That was a great use of leg drive there. You
Yeah.
can see her hip shoot up a little bit as she's pushing the bar back. Those are great fundamentals.
It's so cool seeing those fundamentals shining through on such young lifters, too.
Totally,
'Cause
totally.
those are things that took me years to figure out.
Yeah,
And they're so young doing it.
exactly. And when you go to a commercial gym, you know, you can see people really drive their hips up and they're launching their hips in the air and
Yeah.
they're trying, but like, you know, for a young lifter to be able to grasp that concept and
So cool.
do it comfortably and with a lot of poise, it's amazing to see.
So we have Sophia Allen coming out for her third of 42.5 kilos. Sophia's an 84 plus special athlete. We'll see how this goes for her.
Big
She's
push.
fighting it up,
Nice
yeah.
job.
It's the rack man. 2 white lights. That's all it takes for a good lift. We have a yellow card from one ref, which could be again butt lift, foot lift, head lift, any of the things. But 2-1 is all it takes.
Nice job. Sophia has a dog named Pebbles. I hope Pebbles is watching.
Oh, I'm sure Pebbles is watching.
Yay.
I'll have to ask what kind of dog. I'm a big dog fan, so
Wow,
I'll
very
ask her when she's done lifting. So we have Omar Lee coming out for his third, getting the crowd hyped.
Yes, sir.
He has taken a 10 kilo jump now. His second moved great, so we'll see how this goes for him.
He's an athlete that's not afraid to get the crowd riled up, bring the
Yeah.
energy. I love it. There we go.
Oh, fights it up,
Nice
locks it out.
job.
Yeah. Great attempt
Very
selection, 3
well
white
done
lights.
by Omar.
All right, so we have Reese coming out. He's opted for 52.5 kilos for his third, which is a 7 kilo increase, but he only took a 5 kilo increase from
I
his
was
first
just
to his
noting that
second.
myself. Very
How do you
interesting.
feel about that? Yeah.
I personally I oftentimes go with the 7 then the 5, but the 5 to
Yeah.
7, they must have, what usually means they had a discussion back there and we're like, how did that feel? And
Yeah.
opted to go for the high end with nothing to lose here. But yeah, a bit more of an atypical attempt selection. See if it pays off.
We'll see how that goes. Again, it's a Fowler. Fowlers know what Fowlers know.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, he's fine. Yeah,
That's it.
picture perfect. It's almost
Well
like the
done.
Fowlers know what they're doing.
Yeah, for sure. The Fowler's Gambit.
Yeah.
7 with a 5. The 7 with a 5.
Yeah, great attempt selection. Love to see that. No kilos left behind there.
Fantastic. These are the last 3 lifters of Platform 1 before we go into another 10-minute intermission. Platform 1 is trucking along. We are just about to start Platform 2, going back to the 53, 59, and 66 sub-juniors. They will begin their bench press.
On platform 1, we have Cassidy Rutledge for 52.5 kilos for her third, a 2.5 kilo increase. We'll
This
see
is
how
a
this goes for her.
Big bench press here.
It is a really big bench press.
52 and a half, 115 pounds. No joke. Great job.
Beautiful lift,
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Correction, that'll be a 20-minute break for Platform 1. Cassidy is 6 for 6 in this competition. Great day so far. Up next on Platform 1, Anna Arsenault, 57.5 kilos. Trying to finish bench 3 for 3 as well.
Yeah, hopefully Anna can piece this together and build a bit more confidence too after squats. She's doing a great job so far. Starting out on platform 2, we have Samuel McConkey coming out for 70 kilos for his opener.
154 pounds for Samuel. Nice. Decent opener.
Yeah, a little bit of work.
Little bit of work, but
again, could be nerves. Who knows? Just a
unfortunately,
bit
no
heavy
lift.
for Anna. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay. She collected 2 benches. That's pretty good. Pretty good.
And our last bench press on Platform 1, we have Ethan McDonald coming up for 72.5 before, again, a 20-minute intermission. Platform 2, Matthew Nearing from BC, 80 kilos. Loaded onto the bar.
Let's see how Ethan handles this for his third. Hopefully collects a few more kilos on his total.
Okay, Brittany, controversial opinion here.
All right. Let's have
Chalk on butt during bench press. Are we for or against?
it. I don't see the point personally. I've never. I mean, if it makes you feel better, why not? If it's a mental thing. How about you?
Nice
What's
job. Good third bench there. And that's a good lift. And that will wrap up bench press for Platform 1 from Ethan McDonald. Yeah, I personally am not a fan either. I find that, if anything, it makes your butt more visible coming
yeah.
up from the judges. So I think it's a bit more of a deterrent. But, some people need that peace of mind to keep their butt down.
Yep.
And that's okay.
Whatever
but,
works.
yeah.
Every athlete's different.
Yeah, exactly.
So Matthew here taking his opener of 80 kilos. Nice and fast.
Nice job.
and smooth.
So now that we can single on Platform 2, do you want to speak a little bit about what we're looking for from a judge's perspective in terms of bench press?
Yeah, so bench is a bit more of a technical lift, so there are more commands. You have a start command, so once the bar is out of the rack and you're in full control of the bar, you'll get the start command, and then you bring it down to your chest. It has to be motionless on your chest in order to get the press command from the chief referee, and then you must press it out, lock out your elbows fully, and then you'll get the rack command, and then you place the bar back into the rack. But while doing it, you have to keep your head down, your butt has to be in contact with the bench, your feet have to stay flat on the floor, your elbows must reach elbow depth, which is a relatively newer rule. How do you feel about that, the elbow depth rule?
I was a little bit skeptical about how it may be addressed or enforced within competition, but I think so far it's been adopted into the competition pretty evenly. I don't think many people have had to adjust their
Yeah.
bench position too much, but it does add another factor to consider, like you mentioned,
For sure. It's a lot to watch for, too, on the referee
for the
perspective.
referee side, for sure.
Good lift.
Great opener
Up
there.
next is Zachary.
And you have to do all of that
And holds ball
while
us.
trying not to let the bar fall on your head.
Yep.
So that's exciting.
And the bar must move in one continual upward movement. No dips, up-down movement.
Zachary's going for a national record.
National record attempt here by Zachary Vandenberg, 95.5.
Another opening attempt record for Zachary.
Yeah, Zachary is is the lone representative of the 53 kilo class. So that's sitting just over 110 pounds, like 113 pounds there.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big bench.
This is a huge bench, yeah, for a 53. Almost double body weight. We'll see how he moves this. He opted not to take his third squat after missing the second, so maybe conserved a bit of energy for a later lift. We'll see.
Nice, there we go.
Yeah, really smooth opener there for Zachary. 2-1. There's a red card, so that would be the elbow depth that we were just talking about.
There we go, yeah.
So it just means his left, it came from the left ref, so his left ref, or elbow, sorry, just didn't go quite low enough, so. But 2-1.
Yeah,
Good
and
lift.
more than anything, that's something to consider for subsequent lifts. So if they want to just stick with the 2-for-1, or if they want to make any adjustments, that's a conversation that they're going to have. But
Yep.
regardless, that's a good national record. So one for the books there.
Now we have Nolan Bililo coming out for 97.5 kilos for his opener.
Where does bench press stand for you in terms of, preferences or biases in the disciplines?
Bench used to be my worst lift for many years.
Oh, really?
Like
That's
I
surprising.
had to work really hard to build my bench up.
Yeah,
and now,
totally.
It's competitive, and that's all I need it to be. It's not
Yeah.
world record
Yeah,
tier, but
For
it's
sure.
competitive, and that's all I need.
exactly.
How about you?
I
You're
love
a bench fan,
press.
yeah. You did bench
yeah.
only yesterday.
I've got the
so-
leverages for bench. And bench has always loved me back. So we stay bench loyal, and no, it's good. It's also the only lift that you can do laying down. So
Yeah.
I think that's a fan favorite for a lot of people. And yeah, even without the powerlifting context, I'd probably still be benching in the gym. So yeah, it's good times.
Yeah, I would say it's the most common lift in the gym, bench press, even if you're not powerlifting.
Yeah, totally. And I think it's also the one that you can do the most different variations with.
For sure.
Different different styles of benching. So
So we have Wallace McDonald taking 105 kilos for his opener, makes quick work of that.
that's 2 plates in the gym, 231 up and down. Very nice.
Up next is Victor. On deck
Victor
is
LaBelle,
Eli.
120. We're taking a big jump now with these last 3 bench presses. We're going from 105 to 120. This is 264 pounds. Again, these athletes are 18 years, 14 to 18 years, so still in high school mostly. So, showing up for their local high schools and their communities.
Yeah, these lifters are opening with almost twice body weight. Some big openers
Yeah,
for a
totally. I
66
remember when I
kilo
was in high
class.
school, I'd be happy just lifting 2 plates.
Right.
So this is, almost 2 plates and a 25 on the bar. So when you can do that, you must be pretty strong in your class.
So cool to see. A little bit of work there on the opener, but he makes it up.
Up next is Ellie. On deck is Matthew. And the hold is Samuel. Bars
We have
loaded.
Ili Milat coming out for 122.5 for his opener. The second heaviest opener in this flight. So we have one lifter after, and then we'll be back into seconds. We'll see how these go for these boys.
Have you played around with your grip much on bench from a wide to a narrow or to a medium?
Yeah, I used to be a more narrow grip, but I've moved it a finger wide, which took me about 1.5 years for my strength to catch up on.
Yeah, totally.
And then I just moved it a finger wider to almost max grip.
Yeah.
because it doesn't hurt my elbow right now. So
Yeah, totally.
like even if it takes a couple kilos off, it's pain free. So that's important. How about you? How's your grip for a bench?
I always go on my ring finger on the knurling, and that's always
Okay.
felt really comfortable for me. I
Yeah.
tried like a max grip, but I actually found that like that felt horrible, and maybe I just needed to adjust to it. But yeah, I just found that the ring finger always works.
I
so
was
I just
the same. I was
stick
ring
with
finger
that.
on the ring. And
Yeah.
it just felt better. But
Yeah. We had a re-rack command here, but made good work at following that.
Three
And
white
that's a good lift.
lights.
So oftentimes when you get a re-rack on bench, that's usually due to elbows,
Yeah, elbow's
or
not
in some
locked out.
cases, if you have your heels up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
Your
tough to see
foot's
from
not
this live stream angle, but from the sides, the judges are looking for the heels to stay down, to be flat to the floor, which can be a little bit tricky depending on how the shoe contours to the shape of the foot. But we do want to try to get the heel down as much as we can.
We have Matthew Gordon coming out for 125 kilos, the heaviest opener in this flight.
286 pounds. So based on how this opener may look, we may be looking at a 300-pound bench press.
That would be super cool to see in this class.
At 66 kilos,
Yeah.
like that is really,
66
really
sub juniors
really,
too.
really
Like,
strong.
that's huge.
And the one thing I've noticed as well is that not too many of these athletes have super high arches,
No?
which again is another factor that plays into bench press.
Yeah, longer range of motion, and they're still moving crazy big weights. That's so cool.
Speaking of high arch benchers, this is I think the biggest one that we have today. Let's see if it complies to the elbow rule.
Yeah. It flew. Made easy work of it. 2 to 1.
2 to
yeah.
1. So comes a
Yellow
little bit of
card. So that could be butt lift, head lift, foot lift.
Commands,
Yeah,
etc.
commands.
a whole host of things, but still a good lift there. And now we're back to the top for our second attempts. What do you kind of think about when you're bench pressing? Like anything that you kind of, tell yourself in accordance to cues or, psychology?
For bench, I think it's like the least thought-provoking one for me because I
Nice.
just have to kind of trust it. But just staying tight and keeping my chest big, I would
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
Because if my chest collapsed, the whole lift collapses for me.
I agree. I think that's something you see a lot where people are bringing the bar down to their chest and they start off with a good arch, but as they're pressing, they lose their chest position
Yeah.
and then subsequently lose their lats and their legs from following that.
Oh, Sam's second, a little too heavy, 75 kilos. We'll see if he can come back and hit that on just right and get it on his third. What are you focused on when you're benching? What cues work for you?
Okay, to be honest, I'm a bit of a meathead when it comes to this, but I literally
course you
just
are.
say just push. Just push harder.
Just push harder.
I'm kind of known at my gym as the just push it harder guy.
Okay, I'm gonna need you to show up on Saturday and just yell at me from the crowd. Just push harder.
Done. And you know what? Like, you say what you want, but it works.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, that's what you need to do.
sometimes when you're under the bar and there's so many things happening, you kind of feel like you're giving it a good push, but then somebody reminds you, hey, like push harder, and then you're like, wait, I can.
We have Matthew Nearing taking 90 for his second, a 10-kilo jump. That's a pretty big jump
There
for
you
bench,
go.
but he moves it just fine.
Makes good work out of that. Another 2 for 1, this time from the center.
Yeah, I can't see the. Oh, is it yellow?
Yeah, yellow.
So maybe a head
Maybe
lift
head.
up?
Yeah, I think from the front, it's most common to see head.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if you're a front judge and you see butt.
Yeah.
I think that would be interesting, but head often, and maybe jump to rack command or press
Oh yeah,
command.
maybe the commands. It's hard to hear from here in the live stream. So
Yeah, definitely.
now we have Matthew Hudson coming out for 90 kilos as well.
Matthew from Orono, Ontario, a grade 11 student. Hopefully some of his classmates are watching, supporting him on from the live stream. 90 kilos, 198 pounds.
Just sitting in class watching your classmates kill it at nationals.
Yeah, definitely. This is math, right?
Yeah.
85 to 90, that's plus 5, right?
You had to think about that one.
I
for
did for a
minute.
second. Honestly, I was like, wait, when because my brain was going from kilos to pounds.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, am I counting in kilos right now or pounds?
He has a more narrow grip on his
Yeah,
bench.
yeah, exactly. And so why do you think someone would opt for a closer grip versus a wider grip despite having a closer grip having a more increased range of motion?
I think it really just depends on your preferences and your strengths. Like, one, what feels comfortable. Are you working with injury? Also, are you more strong in the triceps, or
Yeah.
are your pecs a bit stronger? Like,
Yeah.
where's your weak point? And you just kind of adjust
I
from
agree,
there.
and I find that like oftentimes when people bench close and they first start off in lifting, it's because they don't trust benching from their pecs yet.
Yes.
And so that's a muscle that needs to be developed a little bit more versus pressing through your tricep. That feels like a more everyday type of task versus you don't really do much pressing out wide like
That's
that.
very much how I started. Like, my arms were straight up and down when I started benching,
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
slowly over the years, I'm like, oh, I do have pecs. They
Yeah,
exist now.
yeah.
So we have Nolan coming out now for 102.5 for his second.
All those dumbbell presses,
Yeah.
working those muscles, incline, decline, neutral. Nice.
Oh, very easy second there. Lots of room. 2-1 though, so a yellow card.
Next is Zachary. On deck is Wallace, and the hole is Victor.
These judges are making these athletes work for every white light that they can.
For sure. And
But
I mean,
that's-
at nationals,
Yeah,
they
that's
need to
the
be held to
standard.
the
That's
highest
the standard,
standards.
for sure.
So
And
we have,
that's
oh, sorry, go ahead.
no worries. That's something I kind of had to like remind myself yesterday. Like I was feeling really strong, but you have to really conform to the standards of the day.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how strong you're feeling. If the judging is what it is, you just have to match that.
For sure. I felt like our platform had a bit longer pauses yesterday on benches, like before getting the press command, and so we adjusted accordingly. Like, I took 5 kilos for my last jump instead of 7 because I was like,
Exactly.
play it safe.
Yeah, exactly.
So we have Zachary Vandenberg taking 105 kilos, which is another national record because he opened with a national record.
That's correct. Zachary is also representing Canada in a Team Canada singlet.
Yeah, he did sub junior worlds.
Oh, okay, junior
just
worlds.
over the
Yeah.
over the summer. Oh, just a bit too heavy today.
We'll see how he adjusts, if he adjusts for his third attempt. He's already got his national record secured. 10 kilo is a big jump.
That is a
so
very
we'll have
big
to
jump.
see how that third shakes out. But yeah, on the line for this competition, right, is North American. So these athletes will be vying for that spot.
And Zachary being the only one in his weight class, all he has to do is register a total, whereas there are some battles going on in all the other weight classes.
Yeah, exactly. So that kind of adds to the element of competition where, there's an international spot on the line here. Brittany, do you remember your first international competition and qualifying for that and how that felt for you?
Yeah, I qualified in 2019 in Ottawa at Nationals.
Wow.
For Worlds, and yeah, it was a surreal feeling, honestly.
Yeah, totally. And I think that's like the culmination of competition because, when you're pushed, to the way that you probably are in each competition, it's like that type of element where like this wasn't given to you, like you earned it, you had to work for it, like not just through your training, but like through also the competition itself and having to win, right? Like,
for sure, and that's what all these athletes are here doing this week, trying to earn some international team spots or some national titles, and that's
totally.
really big.
Mm-hmm.
So
North Americans this year will be held in the Grand Cayman Islands, which is super exciting. I had the opportunity to go there a couple of years ago and coach for Team Canada, for Team Canada, and beautiful spot. Got to swim with some stingrays and eat some, local jerk chicken. That was pretty incredible.
Oh, nice.
Hopefully some of the athletes here get to experience that this year as well.
Yeah, they're here earning their spots. We have Victor Lobel taking 125 kilos for his second attempt, up 5 kilos from his open.
Nice. Ooh.
He's fighting through it, locks one elbow, guts the second one locked out.
Looks like a limit lift from Victor.
Yeah, we'll see what he does for his third.
It's a good lift, 2 white lights with 1 blue, so it might have been a bit up down or soft lock, but he still gets it, so we'll have to see what he does for his third attempt. Bit sticky on that one. Platform 1, we are 5 minutes away from starting deadlifts. Platform 2, Ellie Maliette, 125. We've seen some lifters here wear wrist wraps, and we've seen some athletes go without. How do you find that and how that may affect your bench press?
I have always worn wrist wraps because before I started powerlifting, I've had surgery on both of my wrists,
Oh,
so
okay.
they are very, very sensitive.
Okay.
So anything like 45 kilos or above, I'm like, oh, this is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So I personally prefer them, and
Yeah,
I
totally.
use long, flexible wrist wraps. Do you use wrist wraps?
I don't actually.
Yeah. It's always night and day. Like, you either really like them or you really don't.
Nice job.
Good lift there.
Yeah, that was a strong bench press. Yeah, I found that I used to wear wrist straps just because, like, as I was collecting my, all my equipment and stuff, that was just a natural thing to do. But I found that I just didn't really need it. Like, my wrist felt comfortable in the bar, and even with max weight, it never felt like it was pressing so much into my wrist. I know that's often like a big thing for a lot of people, so you can feel that pressure sitting in their wrist, and you can feel that discomfort. But I didn't really ever get that, so I felt like if I could go without, I may as well. And so yeah, it's been
Do you
carried
wrap
with me
for
forward.
squats?
No, I don't.
Nope,
Yeah,
no wraps at all?
Yeah,
Cool.
just go cold.
So we have Matthew Gordon taking 132.5 kilos for his second. It's a 7.5 kilo jump from his opener.
And this is 292 pounds.
Yeah.
Pretty significant bench press. Again, 66 kilos.
Seeing how this moves, he might crack 300 for his third.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Nice. Good stuff. Yeah, it's really interesting to see how these athletes can kind of contort their arch, contort their back, and really set that arch and set their spine, driving down on their on their wedge there.
Do you have a high arch when you bench?
No. I mean, high relative to Gen Pop, but not in terms of powerlifting demographic. Yeah, it's a pretty moderate arch. I think my biggest benefit is just a shorter range of motion naturally.
For sure.
And just the little leverages there. Yeah, do you have a fairly long range of motion, or how does that sit with you?
I don't know.
Moderate?
It doesn't make sense.
Kinda
Like, I
even?
have pretty short arms, but I feel like it has to go a long way.
Yeah.
And, like, I've never had issues with elbow depth. Even if I'm doing, like, a board press, like, I still hit depth. So I'm like, make this make sense. But,
So now bodies are a bit strange like
yeah,
that.
it's so weird.
Starting off the third attempts with Samuel McConkey, 75 kilos, missed it on his second, retaking for third.
Pushing through, pushing through, pushing through.
Unfortunately, just hitting that sticking point there where that bar just can't travel past it.
Yeah, just a bit too much today.
But you know what? He's young. He's got time to build. I'm sure he's going to smoke that, like, what, next week?
It'll probably, I was going to say it'll be an opener next meet.
Sign up for the next local and get that one back. But no, great attempt so far.
So we have Matthew Hudson coming out for 92.5 kilos, a 2.5 kilo increase from his second.
Matthew's previous best bench was 85 kilos, which he hit on his opener, so everything has been gravy since then.
Like I said, to be a
192.
sub-junior opening with your PRs,
So I guess I would ask, if you were to go back to, if you were to start over again, but you know everything that you knew now, how do you think you'd be different if you started off as a sub-junior?
Honestly, I'm happy I didn't, because yeah, we were just having this conversation the other night, and you just feel so invincible until you're not, and like you're PRing every meet, every lift, every meet, and then one day it just stops. But I wouldn't want to know that and like believe that it actually stops, because it lets you push a little further, because you do
true.
feel invincible.
Yeah, that's true.
He fights through. Let's see, locks it up.
Great third attempt
Yeah.
there.
Beautiful
And
attempt
the
selection.
judges say 2 white lights. It's that youthful fervor, You feel like you can do anything. You feel like everything's coming up, and nothing matters, right? When you're a sub junior, all you got to worry about is getting your math homework done and moving on to the next, and training, right? But no, that's cool.
Looks like we're going to be starting deadlifts on platform 1 in about 30 seconds.
Matthew Nearing trying to go 3 for 3 on bench press, 100 kilos, 220 pounds on the bar.
What would you have done differently if you knew what you know now when you started?
I think for me, kind of talking about what I mentioned previously, just recognizing sustainability is so important. Recognizing that, like, I know all this now and I know how I want to proceed within the sport, and so knowing that I can train and take a break and train and take a break, and that way that kind of builds that longevity instead of trying to max out as a junior and then burn out and move into something else.
Got to the sticking point, but just a bit
too much. Yeah. But still great effort, 2 for 3 on bench press for Matthew.
We have Kaylee opening at 52.5 kilos.
Nice job there.
Nice and easy, 3 white legs. We have Zachary Vandenberg, 105 again for his third. He missed it on his second. We'll see if he comes out for it, if he times out for it, because he timed out on his squat, so we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I thought you were going to say if you went back in time, you'd find Bryce immediately.
Yeah, that too.
You would hit him up.
No, I think it was really important to have the experience I had before working with Bryce.
Totally.
Because it gave me a different appreciation.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
For
Yeah, it's very different when
my
you work with a coach, when you work with yourself, when you coach,
Yeah.
quote unquote, program for yourself. You kind of see things a little bit differently than what a coach would see.
So we have Grace opening at 60 kilos for her first deadlift. Picks it up.
60 kilos, looking easy. That's a good
3
lift.
white lights.
And it's so important to get your deadlift because that locks in all the records that you have broken, right? Because if you don't, if you don't get a deadlift, then you bomb out and everything will have been for naught. So it's important to get a good opening deadlift just to lock it in those records at the very least.
So we have Georgia also opening at 60 kilos. Picks it up. Gets the down command. Unfortunately, it's 2-1 no lift. There was up-down movement. Looks like she just had a little hiccup there. I'm sure she'll come back and lock in her total on her second. Zachary is timing it out.
Gives an extra minute of rest for the lifters.
So Sophia is going to be opening at 70 kilos.
Eyes loaded for Nolan.
And Nolan will be taking 107.5 kilos for his third bench press attempt.
No
A 5 kilo increase from his second.
Yeah, comfortable jump there. Sophia Allen getting fired up here.
Oh, picks it up, no
Nice
problem.
job.
Puts the bar down. 3 white lights.
Goodness. That one was for pebbles.
Yes, that was
one-
absolutely
that one's for
for
pebbles.
pebbles.
Good lift there for Sophia Allen.
See how Nolan handles this 5 kilo increase.
Nice.
yeah.
Hey, good third. Yeah, that's
really
it.
good attempt call on that.
For sure.
Good lift.
Still 2 white lights.
And deck is Victor in the hole of the D line.
I'd be interested to see what the yellow cards from the Chief Ref have been over there. It seems like there have been quite a few this
Pretty
session. but
consistent. It might be a similar thing with all these athletes.
Reese is opening at 75 kilos. Very wide grip for his deadlift.
Yeah. And starting off with the low hip position as
Yeah.
well.
3 white lights.
More reminiscent of like a Olympic lifting
Yeah.
position, but still gets the job done.
Wallace.
Wallace McDonald, 115 kilos, 253 pounds on the bar.
Yeah, it looks like again he might have missed just putting in an attempt card because he did a 2.5 kilo jump to a second and now a 7.5 kilo jump.
If this is happening twice, do you think this is indicative of him being coaching himself?
I don't know if it was the same lifter, I can't recall,
Oh, okay,
but
yeah.
but I'm just saying again the situation. But yeah, 115 looked like a great third attempt.
Totally. I mean, at the same time, you can't put it past these sub-juniors, right?
Yeah,
That
for
frontal lobe is not developed.
Even
but,
some of the coaches that are coaching sub juniors not always the most reliable.
But at the same
who
time,
knows?
this is where a coach, plays a big role is getting the attempt in.
Yeah.
Submitting the attempt on time, making sure the right number is submitted, all that stuff. And you know what? These are things that you kind of have to learn as you go. I've certainly made my fair share of mistakes.
Oh, for sure, me
when
too.
I started off with the temp flexions and stuff. But at a national level like this, we do want to make sure that our T's are crossed and our I's are dotted.
Omer Lee opens up with 80 kilos for his first deadlift.
Nicely
Makes
done,
easy work
Omar.
of it.
Yeah, fantastic.
Victor LaBelle coming out for his third bench press of 127.5 kilos.
Conservative 2.5 jump there.
Yeah. Which I think is pretty common, honestly, for third bench press attempts, especially in such a small weight class.
I agree.
Let's see how he.
And
no,
even
just a
there, that
bit.
was a limit lift. So
And that's what you were saying earlier. The 2.5 kilos makes a big difference,
For
especially
sure.
on bench.
yeah, definitely.
So we have Anna coming out for 112.5 kilos for her deadlift opener. We'll see if she can have a good day deadlifting today.
I think Anna doesn't have anything to lose. I
Yeah.
think Justin recognizes that, so I think they might put in something a little more aggressive
Yeah.
as the
Oh,
competition goes on.
beautiful opener though. Nice conservative it looked
Just
like.
to finish the competition off on a high note, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly. Because from the coach's perspective, I definitely know what it. Well, I don't know what it's like to have an athlete bomb out, but at the same time, like I can certainly
Yeah.
empathize like how that may feel as a coach, because you're so involved in the athlete's performance, and
Of course.
you want to put them up in a position to succeed. Pardon me. And so when an athlete bombs out, you're trying to like see what you can do to almost kind of like make it up, and having a really strong deadlift to finish out the competition is one way to go about it.
So Eli seems to have taken a 2.5 kilo jump to his third as well. We'll see if he can lock this one out. And then we have Ethan McDonald opening at 135 kilos on platform 1. That's a big opener. Eli tries
Just
to push
quite-
through.
Just not quite there today.
Easy opener for Ethan on his opening deadlift, though.
That's a good lift for on one. All right, this is the last lift for flight 1 in platform 2. On platform 2, this is 136.5 kilos, which is a national record attempt if you've been following along at home. This is our first 300-pound bench press attempt.
Yeah, the 136.5 puts it over to the.
136.5, yeah.
All right, that's a huge bench press, especially in the 66 kilo class.
302 pounds.
Yes.
We'll see how this goes. On platform 1, we have Kaylee coming out with 60 kilos, starting us off on the second attempts for platform 1.
Let's see how these lifts go. Hopefully we get our first 300 bench of the day.
Matthew Gordon, presumably from Quebec.
Kaylee grinds a little bit at the top, gets that 60 locked out. 3 white lights for Kaylee.
Ale.
Yeah.
Oh,
We'll see what
that
the refs
looks
have to
good.
say. Oh, 2-1. Good lift. The
say
new national record.
Oh my goodness, 2 white lights.
Elliot, starting with Elliot on deck and Bryant.
So we are starting the second flight of bench press on platform 2. We'll be started off with Elliot Fafard with 97.5 kilos. But first on platform 1, we have Grace coming out for 62.5 kilos on her deadlift.
Nice job.
Locks it out. We'll see
Gets
what the
it
refs
up.
say. 2-1.
White lights.
It's a good lift.
Good enough.
So we have
yeah.
Georgia Lee coming out for 65 kilos. She missed her opener at 60, but opted to go to 65. Just a little bit of a up-down on her first, but strength was no issue, so she should be able to get this confidently.
Hopefully she
on
can
the
get
board.
this up. Yeah, like we talked about, it's important to get your get a lift in for deadlifts.
Yeah,
That
beautiful
looks
lift
strong.
there, yeah. Yeah, 3 white lights. She's safe.
Those are oftentimes calculated risks, right? 'Cause
Yes.
it's like, do you go up or do you just retake and just secure the safe bet? But no, the risk paid off, and now she's on the board. Platform 2, Elliot, 97.5.
A little bit of work for an
A
opener.
little bit of work, yeah. And 2
Oh, 2-1, no
yellow
lift.
lights.
Maybe butt lift. It looks like yellow cards from the side, and if you
One-
see those in unison.
One thing we haven't talked about too much is that there's also a heaving rule in bench
yes.
press as well. And I didn't know if that was heaving for sure, but it looked like the bar may have
Yeah, it
gone
may
down a
have
little
gone
bit
once
as
you
it
get the
pushed
press
up.
command, yeah.
So when you're benching down to your chest, once that bar gets the press command, you can't bring that bar down before going up. You can't use that chest as a rebound. So it's a bit of an interesting take.
Hopefully he can make the correction on his second, but for now we have Cassidy locking out 80 kilos on her second deadlift. And the referees say it's a good
Good
lift,
lift.
3 white lights.
And often you'll find with heaving that's more applicable towards heavyweight lifters because they
Yeah.
oftentimes sink that bar a little bit further into your chest. But yeah, may have been a little bit of that today.
Can happen across any weight class for sure.
Depends on how you sink or soft touch, right? 102.5 for Brian Huang.
And we have Reese Fowler coming out for 82.5 for his second deadlift.
Reese
Yeah.
Fowler of Fowler fame, 88.2 point.
Yep, picks that up, no
82.5.
problem.
Good stuff.
Yep,
Nice
3
job.
white lights. We have Tunir Meady coming out for his opener of 110 kilos, just as soon as the spotting team's ready for him.
What are you kind of noticing from our youth and sub-junior athletes today?
Honestly, it just blows my mind time and time again how far our sport is progressing at such young ages.
Yeah, definitely.
So cool to see. So strong these kids are. Great
job.
lift from Sophia Allen.
Nice job.
What trends are you noticing watching youth in the
Definitely,
juniors?
they're not afraid to take risks.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not afraid to be bold and to attack with fervor. Oftentimes, it's easy to take the conservative jump or just do what's necessary. But yeah, I think in line with what we've talked about with the nature of sub juniors and nature of being young, you're not afraid to take risk and be bold and swing for the fence. And with the close battles that we've kind of seen today in these weight classes, I think we'll kind of see that unfold with the deadlifts and as things shake up.
Yeah, For sure. Omar locks out 90 kilos, a 10-kilo jump from his opener.
Nice
So
job from Omar.
big jump there. And then we have Rafael taking 110 kilos from for his opener. There we go.
Nice.
Nice.
Good bench. It's a bit of a combination with a high arch, but with a longer range of motion. So
Yeah.
it kind of like evens itself out, but still, you know, a bit of a ways to travel for the bar.
We have Anna Arsenal coming out for 120 kilos on platform 1 for her second deadlift. Opener moved really well, so hopefully this will follow suit.
Bars loaded.
Then we have Jacobo Leon coming out for 115 kilos for his opener bench.
And his deadlift was good. A little bit of work, but looked good. I'm looking for Justin to load it up for her last deadlift attempt.
Yeah. Like we said, nothing to lose. Might as well have a little fun with it.
Do you have any mantras or anything that you kind of repeat to yourself before you know, a big bench or a big deadlift when you're about to head out on the platform? You're waiting in the wings there? Or is it brain empty?
Yeah, no, very much like it's going to feel heavy, but like it's kind of supposed to.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you can't do it.
Yeah,
It's
totally.
just kind of stuck with me for a while, yeah.
Yeah, just the attitude of like respecting the weight but not
Yeah.
fearing it.
How about you? What's your go-to mantra?
Brain off. Brain
yeah.
off. Yeah.
Ethan locks out 145, 3 white lights.
I kind of go like quite a bit between different flow states throughout my different competition and my history of competing. I'm sure you're the same. You know, there's certainly times where I like to just be a little bit more casual and engage with my peers. But there's also often times where it's just brain off, music on, and just kind of you know, letting things be and yeah, just because at the same time, you know, I can only do what I can and just focus on the task at hand. And so
Exactly.
just being mindful of that and being mindful of doing my best and just, you know, letting things play out how they will.
All right, we have Micah Waddell opening at 122.5 kilos for his bench press. And we also have Kaylee coming out for her third deadlift of 65 kilos.
Platform 1, we are starting last deadlifts, hey? So we should be wrapped up pretty soon. So this is the heaviest lifts of the day for platform 1 here.
Good lift on platform 2. Let's see, Kaylee's grinding through. Let's see if she can
Hips
lock this
through,
out.
lock it out.
Yeah, she locks
Nice
it out.
job.
The referees say 2-1. It's a good
lift.
lift.
Awesome job.
Great way to finish the day for her.
She's done for the day. Trip to Montana's coming up.
Yeah. Looks like we're loading up a record on platform 1 of 65.5 kilos for Grace.
Platform 2, Loic Plant, 130 kilos. How many records is that now for Grace?
I was going to say she has a whole stack coming. Like, she's just killing it today.
I don't know if they still do show and tell at this age, but if you think
Yeah,
they do, you can break.
Just show and tell
Yeah.
your 9 or 8 record certificates that you got, however many it was. We'll see if she can collect
That's
this one
pretty
as well.
sweet. That's pretty sweet. Nice.
Yeah, she
Good
locks
stuff.
it up. We'll see what the refs have to say.
Well done, well done.
New national record, 2-1 for Grace. And we had a good lift on platform 2 as well.
Georgia Lee, last attempt, 75 kilos. Platform 2, Anthony Valencourt, 130 kilos, 286 pounds. Yeah, really amazed by the fight from these athletes. Like the never say die attitude, willing to
Yeah.
give it their all.
Like lots of grinds from even their
For
youth
sure,
lifters.
for
It's
sure.
really cool to see.
Yeah.
Like I know when I started lifting, I didn't know how to grind. Like I
No,
couldn't.
yeah.
You either got the lift or you just failed
Yeah,
it. But
exactly.
seeing these kids grind, it's so cool.
It's very cool. There we go. Another big grind.
Yeah, Georgia's fighting
Nice
through,
job.
locks it up.
And the poise, the face,
I know.
you know? It's
3
giving
white
face.
lights. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's getting me fired up for my lifts later.
It's giving Slay Mama boots.
Yeah.
The face.
Elliot on deck and in the whole
And, you know, I think it's really just very obvious just how bright the future is in Canadian powerlifting.
Yeah.
Right in front of our eyes. You never know, but we could be seeing future world champions,
Yeah.
future World Games athletes. Like, the sky's the limit for these folks, and hopefully they can stick with the sport and keep it up. And yeah, you never know.
All right, we have Lyle Babin taking his opener of 132.5 for his bench, and we have Cassidy Rutledge taking 85 kilos for her third.
There we
Locks
go.
it out. And 3 white lights, good lift, both platforms.
Well done. Great effort.
Great finish for Cassidy there. Elliot missed this on his opener, so he's going to reattempt 97.5 kilos. Hopefully we can lock that one up and get on the board for bench.
That would be big. Big for the gang.
And we have Sophia Allen coming out for her third, getting fired up, 95 kilos. Oh, handles it flawless. Oh, a little
Gotta lock out those
oh.
knees.
It looks like her grip was slipping a little bit.
I noticed that as well.
Yeah,
Still got
2
one
to
light.
1, yeah.
Take it to the jury, Christine.
Yeah.
She will not, but great day for Sophia there.
Yeah, that was a great attempt.
Pebbles is proud watching from home.
Pebbles has to be proud. That was a great day for
Yeah,
her.
great job.
All right, let's see how Elliot recovers on his second here.
There we go.
Yeah, it didn't look like any
Nice.
heating there. Let's see what the refs say, though. Yeah, 3 white lights. He's good. He's on
Whatever
board.
happened, he corrected it. That was great.
We have Reese Fowler taking 100 kilos for his third. This is a huge deadlift.
220. Here we go.
Oh, locks it up, no problem.
Nice job. There you go.
Great job. That looked almost
yeah, that's
the
good.
same as his
Yeah,
second,
he
yeah?
did great. Yeah, I know he was probably thinking proud chest the entire time.
Yeah,
He stuck
yeah.
his chest out there.
Yeah, great lift there. Great way to finish the day, Reese.
Keeping to 100 kilos for Omar Lee. Last 3 deadlifts of the day for platform 1.
And then we have Brian Huang on platform 2 taking 107.5, so 5 kilos more. We have Omar getting the crowd fired up for his third
I
attempt.
love the energy that Omar brings
Yeah,
to the platform.
such a great energy.
There
Pulls
we
it.
go.
Yeah, he
Yes,
locks it up.
Sir.
Yeah,
How about
3
that?
white
How about
lights.
that?
Great
Yes,
job, Omar.
There we go.
Let's see how Brian handles this. A little bit of work, but pushes through nice and smooth.
Yeah.
I would say they'll take a maybe 2.5
2.5,
there. Yeah,
5 if they
play
want to push it a little bit. Yeah.
because they only jump 5 for their second, so maybe the 2.5.
5 and 2 makes a
play
lot of
safe,
sense
yeah.
for sure.
We have Anna Arsenault coming out for her third. They jumped 5 kilos to 125 for her last attempt. So we'll see if she can finish this day off on a really strong note.
Platform 2, we have Jacobo Leon, 115, retaking his first attempt. His best bench is 122.5, so this should be good.
Yeah, should be doable.
Anna,
Yeah, she fights. Yeah,
Nice job.
Definitely. Great way to finish the day, especially
Great
with
day.
a bit of a rocky start.
nice work.
Finishes on a positive note.
And our PEI lifter finishes the day.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
All right, let's see if Jacobo can recover this lift. Get on the board. Looked good to me.
Nice job.
Yep, 3
And he's
white
on the
lights.
board.
Up next is Tania.
Jacobo's plan today is to lift a heavy deadlift, and that's coming up soon, so we'll have to see how that looks, but should be exciting.
Looks like we have a national record coming up on platform 1 of 152 kilos from Ethan McDonald.
And it's also the last lift of the day for these athletes on platform 1, so
It's a big lift.
let's see if we can finish off on a high note.
This is a huge deadlift. Let's see how Tunier handles 115, a 5 kilo increase. Yeah, nice and smooth on his second.
Good lift. Up next is Raphael. On deck is Micah.
All right, and bars loaded for Ethan, 335 pounds.
He looks like he just
National-
has great deadlift leverages
Yeah, he
too. I
does,
love this.
100%. He looks like another guy that could probably fill out to 74 the next couple of years.
Yeah.
93 after that.
It'll be so cool to watch his progress over the next few years. Let's see if he can bring home a national record today, though.
Let's go, Ethan. There we go.
Locks it out.
And that's a good lift for Ethan. New national record.
A no lift 2-1 on platform 2. It looks like a red card, so elbow depth. We'll have to keep an eye on that for the third.
And you were right, Brittany. The deadlift leverages was insane
Yeah.
on Ethan. He was locking that out just above his knees.
Yeah, picture perfect deadlifter.
Yeah, totally.
We'll see from national record. Next, we'll be hitting world records.
Just wait till he figures out sumo.
Yeah.
and it's over. And it's over.
Back to platform 2, we have Micah Waddell coming out for 130 kilos, 7.5 up from his opener.
Yeah, powerlifting is so crazy like that. How leverages really change everything.
They change everything, and
And-
every lifter
and
looks
every
so
lifter-
different.
And every lifter will have different leverages that benefit certain lifts and not benefit other lifts. So finding out what your leverages are and leaning into that, leaning into those advantages,
Yeah,
really sets you up to determine what kind of a lifter you can be.
yeah, for sure. And lifters of all different leverages succeed on really high levels.
Totally, exactly.
So it doesn't matter what your leverages are, you have potential. We have a good lift on platform 2.
And while, I'm sure everyone would want to be like a deadlift specialist and have those deadlift arms,
Yeah,
that's why bench only exists.
yeah, exactly.
So, shout one out for the bench only folks. Still something for us. Last 3 attempts here on platform 2.
For second round.
For second, second
yeah.
attempts. Yes, thank you. Anthony Valancourt, 135.
It's been confusing with third attempts on one platform for a third lift. Like, we're all over the place.
Low
but-
key, I am glad that look, platform 1 did great, but I am glad we can,
Focus,
focus
yeah.
on one and keep the attention there. But no, great job from everyone on platform 1, top to
So
bottom,
cool to watch,
really well
yeah.
done.
Now we can pick apart some of these battles that are going to be coming up as we start deadlifts on platform 2 in a bit.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but multitasking was never my specialty
Yeah.
anyway.
It's a lot. There's a lot going on both
A lot
platforms
of action
too.
for sure.
We have Anthony Valancourt taking 135 kilos for his second.
Nicely
and
done,
controlled.
yeah.
Nice and smooth. Yeah.
Another
That was a great
deadlift
second.
seemingly
Yeah.
leverages, right? These long arms
I know.
with the high arches.
A blessing and a curse, depending what lift we're talking about.
Definitely.
Next would be Elliot. All right, voted.
So this is Loic, correct?
Yeah, I believe, yeah. There's a little bit delayed on the stream
Yeah,
there, but
so-
Loic Plant, 137.5, 303 pounds. Bit of work, but still gets it up.
Pushes it through that sticking point, yeah. I'll say they'll take a smaller jump though. That was a 7.5 kilo, so played a bit more conservatively.
Yeah, definitely. And finishing out the attempt is Lyle Babin, 140 kilos. This is going to be 308 pounds. Lyle currently paces the 74 sub juniors, but it is a pretty close race, so we'll have to see how things shake out in deadlifts. But I'm sure he's looking to build a total
Absolutely.
going into deadlifts. How important is it to, build that subtotal going into deadlifts, being that guy, knowing that there are going to be strong deadlifters coming up, coming
Yeah.
right behind your heels?
It really just depends where your strengths lie. Like, I am good at all 3 lifts, but I don't have one lift that I am really good at. So
Yeah.
I'm not like, oh, I have to hit this huge lift on squat because my deadlift isn't as strong. I'm like, okay across the board, whereas some people are deadlift specialists and
Deadlift heroes, yeah.
they're deadlifting 30 kilos more than their competition. Made good work of that though.
Which can be, a bit of a double edge, because on one hand, it's something you can rely on. It's like a quote-unquote secret weapon, tactical weapon. But on the
Yeah.
other hand, it can almost provide a bit of an excuse to lag on your other lifts.
For sure.
Just because you're like, okay, worst comes to worst, I'll just pull what I need to
I'll
pull.
pull. Oh yeah, I'll
Right?
load what
So
I
you
need
kind
to
of put
load
all
and-
of that stock into that one lift. So that's why it's really important to be well-rounded like you are, and like some of these athletes have shown to be. But yeah, to being able to develop one lift and have that as a tool in your arsenal is really important as well.
Yeah, it's super cool. And then you have your Rhea Stins who
Yeah.
benches their specialists, but it actually matters substantially.
Yeah,
She's
for
that
the
far ahead.
exactly.
So cool.
Yeah, you don't really see it often, but if you're able
Yeah.
to create such a spread with just the bench press, like I think that's like the biggest unicorn there is in powerlifting.
So going into round 3 of bench now, we have Elliot Vafar taking 105 kilos. Bit of work.
Gets
He's
it
pushing
up,
through.
gets it up.
Yeah, he locks it out. We'll see what
Nice.
the refs have to say.
Oh, no lift there.
No lift.
Great grind though, but unfortunately not quite there on the day.
Jim PR.
Ryan Huang, as you have predicted, coming out with the 2.5 jump, 110 kilos loaded
Yeah.
onto the bar.
We'll see if he can grind this one out.
I'd like to take the opportunity to thank our sponsors. Visit Moose Jaw SBD Apparel, Inner Strength Products. Please visit their facility today, just across the road. If you are here located in Moose Jaw, a lot of cool stuff there. Also, I believe they're giving a discount to national competitors, 10%. So check out their stuff. And Sask Lotteries.
So Brian does not take a lift off. Some lifters prefer a lift off from a spotter. Some are self lift off. What do you prefer and why?
I usually take a lift off. I find that just help a little bit of assistance clearing the hooks on the bar or
Yeah.
on the rack allows me to save a little bit more energy. And if you watch me, I'm very particular about how I like my handoffs. Unfortunately, no lift
Yeah,
there.
just a bit too
Yeah,
heavy.
a bit too much, but he did get every kilo that he could out of that lift.
For sure.
And I'm very particular about how I like my handoff, so that way everyone that gives me a handoff does it the same way, right? As long as you have clear, concise instructions,
Yep.
then you shouldn't expect like a off handoff, which is the biggest factor when getting a handoff is like it can
Yeah.
be very different from person to person that gives the handoff. So that's why I've kind of narrowed my cadence into a few concise sentences,
Yeah.
just so it's very efficient in how I like that to have that handoff be given.
Yeah, it's super important, I think, to give clear instructions. But
Yeah, how does that stand for you?
yeah, I take a lift off. I just think it helps me get into slightly better position, and yeah, it just feels lighter out of the rack when you have somebody helping you.
I agree. Raphael Bouchard missing his second, but jumping up 2.5 kilos. So a bit of a high stakes bench press here.
We'll see how this goes. I think it was elbow depth. for
Could have
his
been, yeah.
second, if I recall.
Looks good though.
Yeah, we'll see what the refs say. Yeah, 3-way
And
legs.
there we go. Hey, it's
Calculated
a sub-junior
risk?
calculated
Yeah,
risk. We swing for the fences.
Yeah.
We take the 7 or we lose the 5. You know, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, it worked out for him today, so.
But
can't
then
blame him.
going back to handoffs, on the other side, when you're the person giving the handoffs, you're like, okay, like, I don't know what
Yeah.
you want. I'm just going to have to like figure it
Exactly.
out. It can be kind of tricky because, yeah, you want to do your best for the lifter, but if they don't tell you what they want, then it's
Yeah.
like, okay, well,
And
everyone's getting the same thing.
Everyone wants different things. Some people want really heavy liftoffs.
Yeah.
Some people want very, very light guidance. So Tunier fights through that 120 and looks, yeah, good
Good
lift,
lift,
2 to
3
1.
for 3 on bench press. I remember giving my sister a lift off for training once, and I didn't realize she wanted like a heavy lift off, like pretty much like I'm doing a row out of the
Yeah.
hooks, and she's like dead hands. But yeah, that's something that's important to communicate because some people do want to just sit and just rest with the bar in their hands versus some people want that to aid in the
An
unrack,
active,
right?
yeah,
Be more
unrack.
active participant. So
So we have Jacobo Leon coming out for 125 kilos, which is 10 kilos up from his second, but he missed his opener, so he retook that. So
I think this is an important lift for Jacobo
Yeah.
because of where he sits in the standings right now. So he's trying to get every kilo that he can. So a bit of an aggressive second attempt to kind of close the gap.
for sure,
Similar
hopefully
thing
collect
as
some
first.
kilos.
Yeah,
though,
but if he can get this, he's going to be able to close the gap a little bit more going into deadlifts.
Again, that calculated risk. Do you take the safe jump? Do you put a bit more risk? We'll see. Oh, he's fighting
Come on,
through.
come
Oh,
on.
what a
There we
great
go.
fight.
There
Block
we
that
go.
right elbow.
There we go.
Oh my
Oh.
gosh, what a bummer. That was so close.
That was close. And it's really hard when that bar is moving so slow like that if there's any up or down movement because,
Yeah.
yeah, you just don't know if there's going to be a good lift anyway, but you still just kind of have to do your best. You still just have to give it a go.
Yeah, I don't think it was a bad attempt selection.
Not
like,
at all.
I think if the wind had blown a slightly different direction, he would have gotten it.
There's an up draft going
Yeah.
up, right?
Yeah, it was a great lift
But going
attempt.
back, this is where you want to like at least if you're gonna go out on your sword, right?
Yeah,
this
for
is
sure.
this is nationals. This is the only time in the year you get to try to become a national champion,
Yeah.
so you might as well give it your best
Take the
effort.
chance.
Yeah, exactly.
And
And
we have Michael Liddell now for 132 kilos, so a much smaller jump, just the 2.5 kilos. We'll see if he can handle that. Collect those extra kilos.
but great performances so far from our 74 sub juniors here, putting on a show for bench press. Micah is currently 5 for 5, trying to go 6 for 6.
Oh yeah, he fights through
Nice
it. Yeah.
job.
We'll see the refs. Yeah, 3. Oh,
Hey,
2-8.
great
Yep.
third attempt.
That's all we need. So he is now 6 for 6 on the day.
I don't think we've seen any jury overturned so far. Or
No, I
an
don't
active
think we
jury.
have.
Yeah, letting the lifters do their part.
So we're getting into some more crazy big bench presses. We have Anthony coming out for 140 kilos.
308 pounds. So this is just shy of 3 plates. And you know, as an 18-year-old, 163-pound individual, that is pretty significant. Wide grip, no wrist wraps. I love bench. People like say like bench is like the you know, the less
Yeah.
least exciting lift, but I love bench. Bench is fun. There we go. Nicely
Yeah,
done.
that was a really smooth third attempt. 3 white lights. Great job.
Final 2 bench presses of the session before we go into a 10-minute intermission. Loic plant, 142.5, 314 pounds. So this is 3 plates on the bar. And you'll see that Lyle is also attempting 142.5, but Loic is going first, as we know, because of lot number.
Yeah.
How is lot number going to play into effect going to deadlifts?
So lot number can be super important based on, well, it depends what you're pulling, but lot number, yeah, dictates which lifter will be lifting the weight first if they're lifting the same weight, which can be really important because you can see what your competitor's pulling for their third deadlift and adjust accordingly afterwards if need be. So
Big push.
he's fighting through that.
Ooh, here
oh,
we go.
He grinds it out. He locks it.
Man,
That was a great fight.
good
2 to 1, a
lift.
good lift.
These sub juniors are grinding everything out
That's
today.
what I'm saying. How, like, why did I not know how to grind
They
when
got,
I was
they got
younger?
that kick, you know, that
Yeah.
second gear. It's like when you're sprinting, right? That last
Yeah.
200 meters in the race, you got that extra kick. You can just kind of send it a little bit. So Lyle, same 142.5, trying to keep pace with the field. Also a bit of a fight, but makes good work of that.
Grinds that out. Great lift by
And that's
Lyle.
3 lifts. Lyle is 6 for 6 going to deadlifts. He's leading the way, and we'll see if he can hang on to pole position. All right, we'll take a 10-minute intermission, and then we'll come back for deadlifts.
I think I saw it coming.
and we are back. We are getting ready for deadlifts on platform 2. Again, we will be starting off with the 53, 59, and 66 kilo class in the sub-junior division. Following that, we'll have the 74 sub-junior division. As it currently stands in the sub-junior 66s, we have Matthew Gordon, 5'16" at third, Victor LaBelle with 5'27.5 in second, and our leading performer is Eli Mallet, 5'52.5. He holds a 25 kilo lead over Victor in second, so we'll look to see if he can hang on to the lead going into deadlifts.
So it looks like Zachary Vandenberg will be starting us. Nope, wait.
That's all right.
I think Zachary's starting us off.
That makes sense.
I think he has 75 kilos on the bar for his opener. Just lock in that total, I think, is kind of the goal today.
Do you think that could be due to an injury or,
I mean,
like you
he's
said,
had a
locking
big
your total?
competition season, honestly, so I think he maybe just is locking in what he needed to get done for the day and walking away with that. But you never know. You never know what's going on. Hopefully not an injury, especially this young.
Not. It does say, according to his lifter info, that he has a deadlift PB of 143 kilos. So this is obviously like way less than what he's done, but yeah, we can kind of speculate as to how this, what's happened here.
Yeah, this should be nice and comfortable for him. Lock in that total, wait for the command.
Very nice.
Yeah, 3 white lights. He's got a total for the day, and I think that was pretty much his goal, so
Fantastic.
really great there.
And he also had the bench record on his on bench press, so just locking that in as well, right? That's what
Yeah,
you kinda
and his
mentioned.
squat record.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah, he opened with both records, so.
Hey, when you come in with 2 records, you
I
don't need to
know.
do much else, right? Yeah, like, take care of business.
Looks like we have Samuel McConkey coming out next with 140 kilos for his deadlift opener. So we'll see if he can lock in a total for the day.
What are judges looking for in the deadlift? How are deadlifts going to be judged today?
So when you go out for your deadlift, there's no starting command. So you just walk up and you pick up the bar whenever you're ready. You just have to wait for one command, which is down. You'll get that command from the chief referee when you are fully locked out at the top of the lift. So that means your hips have to be in line, your shoulders have to be back, and your knees have to be locked out. And the bar must move in one continuous motion upward once you break the ground.
Just as we saw there.
Yep, picture
Fantastic.
perfect example as I'm talking about it.
Nice.
Nice and easy opener.
What are some common infractions that we could potentially see today?
For deadlift, we have up and down movement, so just like a little dip down in the bar. We have hitching or ramping on the thighs. You can't support the bar on your thighs or edge it up your thighs. It has to go up in one fluid movement. Shoulders not being locked out. They have to be down and back at the top of the lift. And
Knees locked
your
out.
knees
Yeah,
have to be locked out. Yeah. Did I miss any?
Not following the down command as well.
Oh, yes, the
That's
down
right.
obviously. Your
Seems
one
like
command.
Yeah, seems like an easy one, but when you're fighting for that last lift and you lock it out, but then you just bring that bar down because of balance or something, that can
Or you just get
occur.
really excited about slamming a new PR and
Yeah.
you just put it right down. You're like, oh no.
I think that actually happened during a local competition. It was the craziest thing. This guy was on the verge of bombing out. He picked up his third deadlift
No.
and locked it out and got it, but he was so excited, as you mentioned, slammed it down for the down command, and unfortunately did bomb out. But it was a great lift. It was an amazing lift.
That's a bummer.
Yeah.
Well, we have Matthew Hudson opening at 177.5 kilos, so
Some big deadlifts to start off the day here.
yeah. Again, they all should be pretty easy. You want your openers to be something you're really confident and comfortable with, so.
So far, we've seen all of the athletes perform with a conventional stance, but as we know, there's also the sumo stance.
Are
as
you a
well.
sumo or a conventional puller?
No. Conventional, not by choice, but more of by necessity. Yeah. If I could, I would leverage sumo, but just with my leverages, I think Top talked about ad hoc, but being bench specialist, it's a long range of motion to travel, and it's hard to really drive those knees out and these adductors out, so just conventional for the sake of simplicity. I would imagine you're probably similar.
Yeah, I tried sumo. I just have a really, really long torso and very short arms, so it's not ideal. But
And as you were saying with your bench press, you started off really close because it was
yeah,
fast up and down. I'm sure the same applications or conditions would apply in deadlifts, where it's just straight up and down. You know, you don't have to worry about your arms being that wide or what have you.
On deck is Wallace and the
yeah.
whole
We had an
Victor.
easy opener there from Nolan of 185 kilos.
That's you, 190 kilos. Currently sitting in third place. He's got a bit of ground to cover between first, but within range for second. So we'll see if he can cover the gap and see how this deadlift session unfolds.
Yeah, honestly, anything can happen, especially in deadlifts. You never know.
Especially in sub-junior deadlifts.
Yeah, yeah, fair.
Right. Really need to highlight the fact that anything can happen in sub-junior deadlifts.
There we go. He's got a nice wide sumo stance there, so.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see how these last lifts shake out and see kind of who ends up out on top.
Oh, nice and smooth opener there.
Very
Definitely has some room to grow there.
Up next is Wallace.
But you do get into the case where it's almost too fast and you end up losing
Bobbling
balance at the top, right?
Yeah, I've definitely seen that before. I've been there before.
For sure, yeah. The unfortunate speed wobble.
Especially I find on sumo, it's a little bit more prevalent, but
What are you
Next.
kind of thinking about when it comes to deadlifts? You know, you've done your subtotal, you're getting ready to finish out the day. Like, what's going through your head at this point of the competition?
first one, just lock in the total.
Yeah.
Just execute well, lock it in, and then
And then you play
and then
2
you
and
play.
3 for position.
Then you get to
and
play,
then-
yeah.
Yeah,
And again, sometimes you have to take the safe call.
for sure.
Nice and easy opener there again.
Deck is Eli.
We have Victor now coming out for 200 kilos for his opener.
Victor sitting at second place currently with a 25 kilo differential between himself and first place. So yeah, a bit of work to do, but not out of the question.
Yeah, we'll see how that battle shakes out.
And this is where the math comes in, right? Because we got to decide, you know, what numbers to take, what the appropriate number to take.
And on deadlift, you can change your third attempts. So that always shakes things up a little bit.
Yeah, change on the third attempt.
Yeah, on the third.
Exactly. So
So
adds another element of the game into it, a little more intrigue to the day.
some strategy, and that's when that good game day handler that we were talking about earlier really comes into play, having
sure.
a coach that understands that and how to play those games. All right, our biggest opener of the flight, 230 kilos. We are now over 500 pounds in these deadlifts.
Yeah, 500 for an opener is pretty insane. 507 for Eli Maliette in pole position here. Yeah, I remember hitting my first 500-pound deadlift, and you know it was pretty euphoric, and to see people open up with that
I
weight,
know.
it just kind of like humbles you.
500 was the national deadlift record when I started lifting, and I was like, I'm never gonna make it
Yeah,
that far.
yeah,
and then I
yeah.
just pulled my first 600. So again, it's
That's
like
incredible.
it's weird looking back at those things, like how far you've come. So
And how far you've been able to push the sport and push those numbers.
and like these sub junior boys are doing it too. Such
Mm-hmm.
a young age, so cool to see.
yeah, it's really awesome to see that you're setting the standard for the future of powerlifters.
Oh, and he makes absolute easy work of that through highlights.
All right.
Up next is
Back to the top for our second attempt. We have Zachary Vandenberg, 125 kilos. So we'll see if he comes out.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to keep the two reds on the bar and be courteous to the spotters and loaders, but I think he'll time out. But we'll see. I could be wrong. I'd love to see him pull this.
But again, bars loaded. But again, the job is done. 2 national
Yeah.
records. Don't need to do much else beyond that.
Oh,
you
he
know.
is coming out. Great.
Oh, perfect. Here we
Cool.
go.
Maybe he'll collect a third national record on his last pull. We'll see.
Yeah, Zachary is our lone 53 kilo lifter.
Oh, yeah, smoke show there, too. Yeah, great lift. Oh, no, I think he's done.
That's the one. There we go.
Shaking the ref's hands, so don't think he'll be back out for his third, but that was a great second pull.
Well done.
Matthew and the whole Matthew Hudson.
Checked his boxes, moving on. Next up, we have Samuel McConkey coming out for 150 kilos, 10 kilo increase from his opener.
Samuel is our lone 59 kilo athlete competing today. So another national champion.
Bars loaded.
Yeah, and he's locked in a total for the day, so just bonus from here, building that total.
Man, all I can see when I look at these athletes is just like how much room they have to grow.
I know.
Like they're all lank, right?
Yeah.
Like they're all just limbs.
When they bulk up, they're
Yeah.
gonna, yeah.
Yeah, when they add muscles to their frame.
It's gonna be really cool to follow some of these lifters over the
sure.
next few years, watch them grow. Makes pretty good work of that.
Nicely done. All right, so how important is it to have a good game day fit? How does that sit in your ranking of priorities?
I mean, I don't have a ton of say in what I wear. But
when you do,
yeah, I think, yeah, I mean, you want to look nice, feel nice, and it's all for the photo package, right?
100%.
I mean, like, come on.
100%. You gotta look when you look good, you lift good, right?
Yeah, I take it you have a big emphasis on how you look.
I just like to something sleek, you know. I
Yeah.
don't need to go all out on the accessories, but color matching is important, I believe.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, you gotta go with light colors. You gotta know your undertones and know if you're a warm or dark colored person, and see and represent the colors that work well with that skin tone. So, I think it's important. And then you obviously have your shoes, right?
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I try not to go all out, but gotta carry a little bit of swag with you when you step on the platform.
We had a great second attempt there by Matthew Nearing of 170 kilos. We're now loading the bar up to 190 kilos. Yeah, okay, I'm not blind. Tip for Matthew Hudson. I know the shoes are always the clashing thing. I just got black shoes to keep it.
Keep it simple, right?
Keep it simple. But you see some of these awesome fluorescent yellow
or
pink shoes. I'm like,
sure.
I'm not bold enough for that.
The special white shoes that only come out on competition day. Yeah.
12-kilo jump here. A little bit
of
of work
work,
blocking
yeah.
it out, yeah. Probably a smaller jump there, but referee. Oh no.
No lift.
A little bit of
up down
down
potentially.
yeah.
Yeah. It's so important to stay with the bar, stay with your positioning
Yes.
as you break off the floor. It can be really easy when you first start off in powerlifting, or you're lifting a high limit load that you just start to kind of move your position, move your body a little bit, and that kind of takes you out of that smooth, efficient position. And so, yeah,
I
it's super
find it
important
too with the younger lifters, you're still learning your body awareness, and your body's
Exactly.
changing so quickly that
Exactly.
you have to constantly be learning different leverages and positions.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. Yeah, as I was alluding to, for sure, that
Yeah.
definitely plays into the role of how do I best configure my leverages? How do I make this lift the most efficient that I can? And also how do I know if I have more to give, right?
Yeah, we'll see if he can correct that first third, because the strength was definitely there. But
Bars loaded for Nolan, pardon me, 197.5, 434 pounds. Perfect day so far. Let's see if we can keep it up.
yep. Oh yeah,
There we
looked
go.
great. Textbook lift right there.
Good stuff.
Oh, the referees say
2
2
to
to
1.
1. We have a red card, so probably shoulders. Softer lockout.
I would imagine you're pretty consistent with your lockouts, right? Have you ever had a red light on lockout?
I have randomly.
Yeah, sometimes it feels random when it doesn't happen to you often.
Yeah, at Commonwealth in New Zealand,
Uh-huh.
my opener.
Yeah.
I got soft shoulders,
Yeah.
and then
And how do you adjust from that? Do you just
I
pull
didn't
it back
know
harder? or
what
do you
was
just...
wrong because I was
Yeah.
still relatively young and I didn't
Okay.
know the color cards.
Yeah.
And so I was like, what do I do to fix it? And they're like, literally just do the same pull. So I just did the same pull and it was fine.
It can be
But-
strange how you can do 2 lifts that look exactly the same, and then one will get a soft
Yeah.
call and one will not. As you alluded to, judges are people as well. But
Yeah, for
sometimes it
sure.
can be strange to know I don't know how to change when everything
Yeah.
was seemingly fine.
Great lift there from Matthew.
Wallace on deck is Victor in the holders key line.
All right, up next, Wallace McDonald, also attempting 205, 451 pounds.
Have you ever gotten some soft lockout calls or?
Yeah,
Yeah.
in my last full power competition, I got soft knees
Oh, okay.
called. But unfortunately, there wasn't anything I could really do about it because, as I found out shortly thereafterwards, I actually have tore my ACL.
Oh no.
And that thing don't straighten out fully.
Yeah.
So I tried to just cover it up with more baby powder.
For sure.
But you do what you can on the day that you have.
A great second lift there by Wallace.
Yeah, but it was really awkward. I was like, I don't know what to do about this.
Yeah, I can't fix it.
I think I had to shift my weight a little bit, sit a little more on my right side, pull my left hip back a little bit. It was a lot of body contortioning for what it was. Final 2 lifters of attempt 2. Victor LaBelle, 215 on the bar, 473 pounds. So with this lift, he will pace Matthew by 4 kilos, so he'll be just a touch behind, but he will be within range. So it's going to come down to the last pull for
Yeah.
second and third there.
Super excited. And same with the next flight. There are going to be some close battles here for
Very
pulls.
much so, yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of work there, but fighting for it. Referees say it's a good lift. 3
Nicely
lights.
done. And rounding out the flight, as he's been doing all day, Eli Millette, 242.5. A healthy 12.5 kilo jump.
Yeah, massive pull here. 242 at 66 body weight. It's a hefty pull.
So when you're Eli and you're this position, and you seemingly have first place locked up, are you trying to play for best overall, or do you think you just keep sticking to the plan, keep playing it safe, and just try to lock in that national spot?
I mean, if you find yourself in this position, you have goals. Like, I don't know, why not push it a little bit?
Sure.
But I mean, if you are in contention for best overall, and maybe take the safer bet, lock in. And again, that's something you have to talk to your athlete
Yeah.
about and see what's most important to them.
Yeah, when I coach my athletes, I always have that conversation of what is your priority? What are we trying to
Yeah.
accomplish first, second, third? Where do we need to go? And when we're in that situation, because it's easier to have that conversation when we're not immediately in the lift.
Well, you don't want the emotions behind it,
Correct.
right?
Great lift
Yeah,
there.
beautiful.
Super
Still
solid.
some room there to grow.
And that's going to put him at 565, comfortably ahead of the pack.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll have to see what he does, and if he wants to, push for a little bit more of a higher GL. The disadvantage of being in the first flight is that you put all you can only do
Yeah.
is the cards that you have, and that's be the strongest that you can be, and then it's up to flight 2 to see
Yeah.
how they go and see where you end up.
Zachary, it looks like he's loaded up a PR, I believe. I think he was in the 140s for his PR.
Yes, that's a good recall there, Brittany.
Yeah.
His current PR is 143.
Yeah, so this is a 7 kilo PR attempt.
But as we saw, we weren't sure if he would come out for his third because he did the
He shook the ref's hand.
the
so
victory lap and did that. So maybe have to save it for the next one.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I hope he comes out. I'd love to see that grind through for a nice PR attempt. We'll see.
I believe he's timing out.
Yeah.
So last deadlifts, your favorite part of the day, hey?
Yeah.
What at this point, you've done 8 lifts. Your back is against the wall, presumably. You're going up against the best. What do you think about? What do you do?
I'm pretty sure every time I'm in these battles and I'm deadlifting, second, third deadlifts, I'm just looking at my coach and I'm like, oh, I'm tired. They're like, you literally have 2 lifts left. Just keep
I
it
can't
together.
wait to take a
I'm
nap.
tired.
I need a shower.
Yeah, but adrenaline carries you a lot of the way,
For sure.
honestly. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think your mentality or your performance is still the same? Is there anything in specific about this last deadlift that you might do, or do you think just kind of keep everything the same?
I try to keep everything the same, but you've spent the whole day building confidence. So
sure.
by this point, you're hopefully feeling really, really good about your day, and you're like feeling a little bit invincible, like that feeling we
Yeah,
talked about when you
definitely.
started lifting. You're like, oh,
I can
we
lift
can
anything
do
right
this.
now.
And
Load it on
also,
the bar. Yeah.
Also trusting your coach, like they're gonna load what's doable.
And at the end of the day, that's the best thing about the athlete versus the coach is I'm just gonna lift what Bryce is gonna tell me to put on the bar.
Exactly,
Eric's
yeah.
gonna tell me to put on the bar. Like that's just my job. Like the coach is the one that's scrambling for the math.
Oh,
They're
for sure.
checking the score sheet. They're checking dots, points, everything there.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, I think this is the number. I triple check. Time to do it. And then it's your job to be like, okay, let's do it. Let's go lift weight.
Yeah. I know all you do is just don't think and just go up and execute.
And then you just kind of see where
See
things
what
fall,
happens,
right?
yeah.
From that point on, you just gotta let the chips fall where they may.
Do you like knowing what's happening on the score sheet when you're competing? Or
Good question. Before, I used to not. I used to be like, don't tell me the weight on the bar. I just want to go lift it just because you don't want to let that number, kind of take over.
Yeah.
But I think it's important to be informed and to know what's on the line and
Yeah, for sure.
to try to play up to those expectations, right? Play up to those standards.
All right, starting off third deadlift. So we have Samuel McConkey now for 157.5 kilos.
Last deadlift of the day. Let's finish out strong. These are the heaviest lifts for these athletes.
Hopefully some good grinds here.
There we go.
Gets it moved. Oh,
Ooh.
just a little bit too much.
Nonetheless, a great performance from Samuel, 59 sub-junior national champion. Congratulations. And next up is Matthew Nearing, 185. The significance of this is that it's going to be a 4-plate deadlift.
Yeah.
So unsure if he's hit this before, but it'll be awesome to kind of lock that in for the competition. Another like significant milestone, right? Like when you're
Yeah, for
18
sure.
and you can deadlift 405 pounds. That's some pretty cool
That's
street
huge,
cred
yeah.
at the school. Yeah, in high school there. It's always funny how, you know, when you compare kilo weights to like pound plates, you're
Yeah.
like, okay, this doesn't look like anything.
I know.
But then you have like the big bumpers or like
They
the
make it
classic
look
like
so
metal
crazy,
plates. It
yeah.
looks pretty badass. Yeah.
It's so fun, especially when you're in high school. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
The more
Yeah.
impressive it looks.
Yeah, you really get those
the better.
clout points.
Let's see if he can pull off his 4-plate deadlift then.
Matthew Nearing of BC boy here.
He's done a really great job keeping composure too. A little bit of a rough start on squats, but
Oh, just not quite there
Yeah.
today. Valiant effort though.
yeah, great effort.
Worth giving it a try.
For sure.
Nolan. Up next is Matthew Hudson. On deck is Nolan.
All right, we have Matthew coming back out for 190 kilos on his 3rd attempt. He missed
Yeah,
his
do you remember what the
second
infraction
attempt.
was on?
I believe it
Soft walkout?
was
Was that?
soft walkout.
Yeah, we had that discussion, right? So hopefully he can, you know, stand a little taller and, you know, finish out the lift.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll make the correction because I remember saying like it definitely wasn't a strength thing.
Yes.
Which is a good position to
Yeah,
be in. You
exactly.
can correct anything else.
Exactly.
Yeah, the crowd's getting behind him. We'll see if he can lock this one up to the judges' standards.
I think it's always important to mention, you know, the residue that athletes have on their thighs and quads isn't chalk, but it's baby powder or talc.
Yeah.
Sometimes people put chalk on their legs.
Yeah.
And, you know, that
You're
turns
just
out
making
to
it harder for
Yeah.
yourself.
There
Yeah,
we go.
he locks it up.
Nice job.
Looks like shoulders are back. Let's see.
there
Yeah,
it
There
is.
you go.
Locks
3
it out.
highlights.
That's a redemption lift there.
Yeah, good for him. Way to finish that off strong.
Yeah. Powerlifting must have been, you know, done wonders for the baby powder like
Yeah,
market, right? Like that's I'm sure.
Especially meat directors, they're
Yeah.
going and buying like 8 bottles of baby powder. Like, what
What
are
are
you
they
doing with
doing?
all this?
It's a powerlifting meet, I swear.
We're loading up the bar now for Nolan. He's coming out for 205 kilos for his 3rd attempt.
Yeah, 451 pounds.
He is 8 for 8 on the day. We'll see if he can
Mhm.
finish out a picture-perfect day.
Definitely, and that's like a pretty significant thing to achieve in sub juniors, right? Where, you know, like we've talked about, fighting your own body,
Yeah.
still developing as a lifter, coming into your own. Like when you can come out 9 for 9,
Yeah.
you know, that shows that you're a technical lifter. You're efficient, and you know.
Nobody else has done it yet, so he would be the first of this plate. So.
Yeah, definitely. Something cool to hang your hat on.
Yeah, for sure. Let's go, Nolan. Sets it up and gets it moving. Oh, yeah.
Nicely done.
Definitely some room there, but sometimes you have to take the safer call. And the referees say 3
And that's a
white
good
lights.
lift. Well done. 9
for
for 9.
9, yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, big jump here for Wallace. 215 kilos, 473 pounds. These athletes are just trying to put on the best tool that they can, have a good day, hang their hat on something good, and, you know, walk away, you know, feeling like they got the job done.
Absolutely. So in between 3rd deadlift attempts, every attempt, the spotters will clean the bar so that each lifter has a fresh, clean bar to try for their biggest pull.
That chalk, you know, as it accumulates, can
Yeah.
really have an adverse effect on grip and, you know,
Or
friction
the,
as it
the
comes
BB
up
powder
bar.
on the bar, if your
Yeah,
hand goes in it,
correct.
it's a bit
Yeah,
slippery.
exactly.
So
So
try to give each lifter a more level playing field for their 3rd pulls.
nice.
Gets it moving. Let's see if he can
There we
lock it
go.
up.
Way to stick with it. Let's see about that lockout.
Yeah.
That's a good
Yeah,
lift.
great job. 8 for 9 day there for Wallace.
Are you the type to move the bar on the platform? Like, are you like it back or like up?
No, I
just keep it
generally
where it
just
is?
wherever it is, unless it's really, really bothering me.
Noticeable?
But
Yeah.
I don't like to move it. How about you?
I always pull it back a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, after, you know, by the end of the week, that platform's going to be beat to
For sure. Yeah.
crap, right? And so recognizing that, I always like to pull it back just a little bit, just
Yeah.
to move on to a
Like
fresher
if
part.
it's in an obvious divot,
Yeah.
I'll move it, but otherwise I'm like, it is
The
what it is.
craziest thing is when they angle out the bar diagonally.
Yeah.
There's something like about that
You're
just
like, this is criminal.
this looks strange to me.
All right, we have 217.5 kilos loaded for Matthew Gordon. He's also 8 for 9 on the day, so this would lock in a perfect day for him if he's able to get this lift on the board.
Bars loaded.
This lift will solidify his third place position, or it currently is. It won't bump him up to second, but it will, lock in a 9 for 9 day. So
Yeah.
interesting
great way to
decision there
finish,
from the coaches, but I'm sure there was a reason for it.
For sure. Makes you want to be able to go back and ask, like, what's going on for this? Let me get some insight behind what you're thinking. But gets it moving.
That was probably it. They probably knew that
Yeah, for sure.
that he was going to be extended, so they just put in something that they, probably his top end, and then hope that second place would miss, right?
Yeah, see what happens. So we're keeping 217.5 kilos on the bar for Victor Lopel.
Regardless, great day for Matthew.
Yeah, 8 for 9 day,
8 for 9,
not
yeah.
a hateful day.
Yeah, exactly.
If you can piece together 8 for 9, 9 for 9 days, those are hard to come by.
Hey, but what that does mean is Nolan can hang his hat as the only person to go 9 for 9.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. I think there should be like a secondary award for that.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing big, but maybe like a chocolate bar or something.
Yeah, chocolate
Little
bar.
pin, little 9 for 9 pin.
9 for 9 pin.
Or 9 for 9 like sticker badge.
There you go. You
Yeah.
can be the meet director.
Hey, I'm gonna write that down. And
Yeah, 9
next
for 9
time,
pins.
Yeah, 9 for 9 pins. It's the little things, right?
It is. They make a difference.
All right, just taking a 2.5 kilo jump. Victor LaBelle. Ooh, not quite there today.
It's always hard to tell on sumo because sumo tends to be a little bit slower off the floor.
Very
So
true, yeah.
sometimes the lifter can be pulling for a matter of seconds and it doesn't go anywhere. And then all of a sudden it breaks the floor and they lock it out, no problem.
So important to be patient off the floor in that
Yeah,
case.
for sure. And
Yeah.
and that's another reason I'm not a sumo puller. I hate being patient off the floor. I'm like, if it's not moving quick, I'm like,
If it's not locked out,
yeah.
I'm not bothered. I'm not gonna worry about it.
All right, we are loading up an odd number here. So 253 kilos for a national record attempt.
Oh my goodness. I've lost track of how many national record attempts there have been today.
Honestly,
but
it's been crazy.
it's
And it's
not an insignificant amount.
it's day 2 and
Day
we're
2,
already,
yeah, for sure.
we're in for a big week. Canadian powerlifting is growing so much and it's so cool to see.
Yeah, we love to see it.
Constantly pushing those standards. Love it.
So Eli has locked in first place, right? We talked about that. He's going to go for a national record.
Totally reasonable jump too. So
yeah.
it'll be a fight, but I think we'll hopefully see him walk away with a national record here.
Currently in the running for best overall junior, but we'll have to see how flight 2 shakes that out. But
Yep.
time to finish out the flight, finish out the day.
Yeah, crowd's getting behind him
There you
here,
go.
firing it up. See what he can do with this.
From Quebec, it looks like.
Yeah, taking his time, making sure his setup goes just right.
Can feel the tension,
Yeah.
right?
I know it's like just go, but he has to be totally ready for it.
On his
so.
time. Here we go.
Gets it moving.
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
is
locks it
moving.
up. Beautiful. Let's see the refs.
And
Yeah,
it's a good lift.
pretty undeniable there. 8 for 9 day
National
there.
champion.
National champion, yeah.
What more can you ask for?
Yeah, that's a great day.
Up next is Tanier. On deck is Elliot. And the whole Raphael. So we're starting flight.
All right, we're going into flight B now.
74 sub-juniors to finish out the session.
We should have another great battle here coming
Yep.
down to the last pull, so
Yep.
definitely stay tuned here. We have some national record openers, it looks like, coming up at the end of this flight already. So yeah, this is gonna be a crazy flight. Let's see it. First up, we have Tanier Meady coming out for 160 kilos for his opener. He's had a really good day so far, so hopefully deadlifts follow suit.
Yeah, 160 kilos on the bar. 358. This is where we have our first like hybrid sumo kind of
Yeah,
stance.
I was noticing when he
Yeah.
was setting up. Yeah,
The frog stance.
yeah, the frog
Some people
stance.
say.
It works for some people.
Yeah, definitely.
We have one red light, but 2-1. It was a good lift, so he is on the board. He's locked in a total for the day, which is a great position to be in.
Do you think with the frog stance you get the benefits of like conventional and sumo, but you're not maximizing like either or?
I think so,
Bit
and
of a middle ground.
I think it kind of it pulls from both lifts and,
Yeah.
and allows you to kind of take the benefits from both without.
Yeah, exactly. Because I feel like when you're conventional, obviously you're relying on a lot of that posterior chain,
Yes.
directors. You have to be really strong in your trunk. Versus with the sumo, quads, hamstrings,
Yeah.
glutes, that kind of stuff.
So just use a
Ability to
little
push to
bit
the
of
floor.
both if you're in that frog
yeah,
stance.
you engage a little bit more of those musculature.
All right, we have Elliot coming out for 190 kilos for his opener.
It'll be interesting to see who's going to age out into the junior categories and
Yes.
then who's going to continue on for sub-junior for another year and see how they can build on this performance.
For sure.
Regardless, though, like, these kids are so young and the talent is very much apparent, so
And who's going to even still be in the 74s? Are they going to
totally
level
move up,
a weight
right?
class?
Yeah, exactly. A lot can happen in a year.
Yeah, for sure. Especially they're so young, right?
Raphael Bouchard up next, 195, getting loaded onto the bar.
Another big shout out to our spotting and loading team. They're working harder than anybody else this whole week. So
I'm sure you would know when you're out there, like you're busting.
yeah, it's hard
Your
work.
chops, getting the bar loaded, moving at a fast and efficient pace,
Yeah.
right? It's just
Keeping
so
all the
important
athletes
to.
safe. It's very mentally stimulating too. But nice lift by Raphael. Easy opener there. 3 white lights.
Good stuff.
On deck is Barney and the host Anthony.
If your name's Raphael, do you think it's only appropriate that you have siblings named Michelangelo and
Okay,
Donatello?
honestly, like he must.
Like, or at least,
must.
like, how can you have one without the
I
others?
know.
think
It must be done.
it's like a quartet, right?
We have Log Plant coming out for 215 kilos for his opener.
473 pounds.
So far, everyone's locked in a total, so we'll hopefully keep that going.
Yeah, definitely.
Sumo hook grip puller. How do you?
Oh.
What are your thoughts? What are the different grips and what do you use personally?
Yeah, very interesting. Looks like a good lift from Loic there.
Yeah.
3 white lights, very well done. Yeah, it's very interesting the differences between hook grip and then mixed grip. I have also kind of swung back and forth between that pendulum a little bit. Historically, doing hook grip, trying to avoid the windmill effect
Yeah.
with the mixed
Mixed
grip.
grip, yeah.
But I found that like the easiest thing for me was just to have a quick top-down setup where I can just set my mixed grip, get the slack, and pull the bar.
Pull the bar, yeah.
Brian Huang, 215 kilos on the bar. I just find that it's so much more efficient to just get into the position and then break off the floor.
For
I
sure.
found that when I did hook grip, I'm like, taking more time, like setting my wedge, setting my hand, that I wouldn't be able to get a good brace out of the hole.
A little bit of work here for an opener. Hopefully he'll lock that out.
He's got to get that
yeah,
lift.
he's locked it. The referees say 2 to
Oh,
1, no lift,
no
a soft
lockout.
lockout.
And that's going to put him in an interesting position.
That's in a very interesting position to be in.
Because when you are at a limit lift for your opener, you don't have a lot of room left. There's
Yeah,
not a lot of
even
options
to
being
repeat
available
the
for
same
you.
weight, like it's gonna be a bit
Like it's one of those
harder.
situations where you're gonna have to dig down a little bit more mentally, reach into that sports psychology like bag, and whether that's arousal or music, height,
Yeah.
right? Like you got to tap into that and get a little bit more aggressive with that.
Hopefully it's just a little bit of positioning off or something,
Yeah,
and we'll be able
definitely.
to clean that up for
For sure.
a second and lock in a total.
Yeah, so hook grip is great, and I use it a lot, but the quick grab and go effect.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's kind of similar to you, right?
I can't hook anything more than 145. My hands are really, really small.
Okay.
So it just, like, I can barely get my fingertip. So yeah, it's just mixed grip, and it's always been my weak point in deadlift. So training that all the time.
So this is Anthony Valancourt, 240 kilos. Makes good work of that.
Yep. Nice and smooth.
And it puts him within range for first. But Lau's coming up with 250. He's looking to keep that lead going into deadlifts. It's very interesting. that, you know, the hand size and hand position really dictates
Yeah.
like what is a comfortable setup one person could have, right?
For sure. We'll see how this moves for Lyle. See what the day's gonna look like for them. But again, anything can happen.
You can see he's trying to find his balance, situate his midfoot position.
Nice and easy opener. A little bobble
Little
there at
bobble.
the
Let's see
top.
if the refs say anything about that.
The speed bobble you were talking
Yeah.
about. Yeah, he misses his
I
opener.
feel like in every session there's at least one.
Yeah, for
There's
sure.
bound to be, right?
So definitely not a strength issue. I think he'll come back and get that no problem on his second. We'll see if they decide to repeat or.
Yeah, it really opens up the field though for
It
Anthony
does.
to close the
Definitely
gap
opens the
because
door.
do they want to retake or do they want to push and try to extend that lead? Anthony does have body weight advantage
Okay.
right now, and so the ball is in his court
In his
on
court,
that
yeah.
side of that side of the game. Michael Waddell coming in next, 261. He's currently in second. Well, Lyle doesn't have a total, but he'd be
Yes.
pushed to third. So we'll see how that goes. He's not out of the question in terms of the podium, but opening a national record does mean that there probably is a little bit more room to work with there.
Yeah, hopefully this moves well for him. It's lots of room to go up, but
From Ontario there with the high belt.
yeah, very high belt, yeah. Very wide sumo stance. He has very, very long legs, so.
Brittany, looks like Lyle's putting in 260, so they're going up. They're playing it
they're going
aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if it's a speed bobble, sometimes you need to take that risk, slow it down a little bit, and
This is nationals.
yeah. And he's.
Oh,
no! We
Did
set
he
the grip,
did
and
he
it looks.
rip his finger there?
I don't know if it ripped or he just dropped. Hopefully, he just dropped it, but
That moved so fast.
it was so
though. That
fast.
was-
It was so fast. So.
His hand couldn't keep up with the speed
Yeah.
of a deadlift.
And like we were saying, you never know what's going to happen going into deadlifts. So.
So because Micah missed his lift, the bar stays at 261. If Micah would have hit, that bar would have gone up to 261.5 because you can't share records.
Correct.
Yes, as we know.
So now we have Jacoba Leon taking a crack at 261, which hopefully it will move as well, but we can lock it up and get a national record under the belt.
And with the totals, Jacobo sat at fourth, but because of the two misses, he's bumped up to second. We'll see if he stays in that position. But yeah, you know, we're really seeing a lot of different things
lot of
happening.
shakeups
Yeah,
happening.
for sure. Which is making for an interesting session here. I've seen speed wobbles, but that was a speed tumble.
That was, yeah. I thought he was going through the banner for sure. All right, let's see how Jacobo takes 261. Sets his grip.
Hook
Gets
grip
it moving.
sumo.
Oh,
there we
yeah.
go.
There you go, no speed
And
bobble,
he's on the board
tumble there. Yeah, he's on the board, locked in a national record.
I'm excited. This is going to be a good finish.
Yeah, it's going to be close. Now
Alright.
closer than we thought, I think, with some
Yeah,
missed
with a
lifts
couple
there.
misses. Yep. So we'll have to see how things shake out. Top of the table for attempts number 2 to near 170 kilos. Nice easy jump from his first.
Yep, 10 kilo jump. First moved really well, so
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't be a problem here.
Definitely. These are the moments, you know, you really live for, right?
Yeah, for sure. And they're the ones that you'll remember, especially if it's your first nationals. You'll be like,
Definitely.
oh,
That's a good point.
we were in a dogfight here, or I pulled this PR.
But this is where it is. No regrets, right?
Yeah, exactly. Full send.
Leave everything on the platform.
Exactly. Let's see how this goes for Tenier. Gets
There
it
it is.
moving. Yeah,
Nice.
locks it out.
It's got a bit of room left. See how he
Yep.
plays around with that.
That's, yeah, a really good second, I would say.
Good lifts.
We have Elliot Fafard coming out next for 202.5 kilos.
446
Yep,
pounds.
a 12 kilo increase.
Do you
Should handle this
strictly
well.
train in kilos, or do you ever use pounds?
If I use pounds, I have to ask my training partner what I'm supposed to be doing because I have no idea.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah.
like led to some accidental misloads
Oh.
and stuff. Like okay, I need 270 kilos for my top squat, and then I end up squatting 275, and I'm like,
Or what have you.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah, for sure.
And then I have to come to Bryce, and I'm like, I promise it was an honest mistake.
Please.
He's like, are you sure?
Please don't drop me.
Yeah. No, I train in kilos. How about you?
I train in pounds.
Okay.
Yeah, we have kilos, but I often just train in pounds to have simplicity, or because my training partners are training
Yeah, that's fair.
in pounds. Elliot looks like he's from Saskatchewan, so a hometown guy here. Have you seen Team Saskatchewan wear their like track jackets?
they're so
They're
nice.
swagged out.
Everyone's swagged out here. Yeah, it's so nice. Gets it moving, locks it out.
Nicely done.
Yeah, 3
Good
white
stuff.
lights. No issues there. We are going to 212.5 kilos for Raphael for his second. What would you prefer? Would you rather be in the lead and be able to load whatever you want for your third, or would you rather be in a deadlift dogfight?
That's a tough one for sure. I would probably choose the former. I mean, I
Yeah.
love a good dogfight as much as the
Yeah.
next person, but I'll just do what I gotta do.
Yeah,
you know?
right.
I'll just play my game. Because that's the thing, right? When you're first, you can play your game. You know, you can just kind of stick to the plan. But when you're in that dogfight, like you gotta make it calculated risk.
Yeah,
You may have
exactly.
to extend yourself a little bit, and you know you gotta risk it for the biscuit. There's
Yeah.
high risk, high reward for a reason. But you know, I would rather like to be in my own control. Be
in control of the situation, not just having to react to what everyone else is doing.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Raphael for 212.5 kilos now. Setting his hook grip, gets it moving.
Nice bit of work,
Yeah, a
but
little
gets
bit
it
of
up.
Just at lockout though, so 3 white lights, good lift.
Yeah,
All right, so Brian needs this lift to stay on in the competition.
that's right. Yeah, and it
250
was a bit
kilos.
tricky. It was a
Yes.
little bit difficult, more difficult than we may have anticipated for an opener.
Yes.
So yeah,
definitely a
hoping
bit
for the
of work.
best for Brian. But yeah, we'll have to see. Yeah, you may have alluded that it could have been a positioning thing.
Yeah,
If
hopefully.
it is, then we should be looking at a smoother lift. But
Yeah, hopefully he did what he needed to do, and he'll fire it up for this lift and
yeah,
get it on the board.
yeah, we need him to lock it in right now.
Didn't come this far to only come this far.
I
Let's
agree,
lock
yeah.
it in.
Come on. There it
Yeah,
is.
gets it
Come on
moving.
now.
Yeah, that looked better than his opener.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
3 white lights.
Three
Good
white
job,
lights.
Brian.
Great work.
Whatever correction he made, yeah, that's what we needed to see today.
Yeah, great analysis. It definitely looked like you were right with the positioning. Positioning looked better. Bar looked smoother coming up off
Yeah,
the
I feel
floor.
like when an opener moves like that, you have to assume something small, something technical was off.
Yeah.
Next, we have Loic Plant coming out for 230 kilos, so he will be cracking into the 500s now for 500 pounds, since apparently that's how you train.
507 to
Yeah.
be exact. But yes, currently sitting in third. Just a couple lifters still need to hit a lift, but yeah, currently sitting in third, and we'll see how this changes in the coming lifts.
Lots of hook grippers in this fight.
Hook is in.
Yeah,
Hook
apparently.
is back in.
I'm old and outdated, man.
There we go.
Yeah, beautiful lift there. Lots of patience through the lockout, which is really good. The ref says good lift, 3 white lights.
Here we go. I remember when Cook was really in, and I think that it was right around when Bryce was like competing at Worlds. He's always been competing at Worlds, but some of the bigger world events like
Yeah.
Calgary Worlds, like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
when he was like talking about Hook, and I was like, oh, okay, like
Everyone bought into
yeah,
it.
yeah.
We have Anthony Valancourt coming out for 255 kilos for his second attempt now. He is having a picture-perfect day so far, so hopefully he can keep that going.
He's gonna try to stay within range of Lyle, but he does currently sit in first place.
All right. A little bit
There
of
we go.
work, yeah.
Nicely done.
Definitely, you can see where his sticking point is, but he was so patient with it.
Yeah, very
3
well
white
done.
lights, it paid off.
All right, so we have Lyle coming up, 260 kilos. He's in that all or nothing spot right now where
Yeah.
you're either going to hit it and jump into first, or you're going to be really sitting with your back against the wall trying to, stay in the competition even.
Yeah, the calculated risks we've been talking about and the risks that sub-juniors are willing to take that sometimes your older lifters are not. So all or nothing, here we go. Let's see how it goes, though. Should be fine. Because strength is definitely not an issue for these lifters. A little bobble again there. We'll see what the refs say.
Oh,
Yeah, 2-1, no
Brittany.
lift. A little bit of downward movement.
It's happening.
It's happening.
It's
This
happening.
is what we're saying. You never know what's going to happen until deadlifts.
Oh.
So we'll see. I think they'll probably repeat the 260.
But
And, well,
Anthony's
it depends.
trying to tie. Anthony is going
Yeah.
up, so it'll be interesting to see. Because Anthony, again, does have body weight advantage, so even if Lyle hits 260,
Yeah.
he's only going to tie.
So, he might have to go up, and it might be a
Might have to
last-minute
go up a
attempt
little
change.
bit. Yeah.
Next up, though, we have Michael Waddell going up for 261.5 kilos, another national record attempt.
Yeah, 'cause
Strength was definitely there on this one, just flew
It's
off.
the speed tumble.
Yeah, so hopefully it wasn't a torn hand, though, and he's able to get this one.
But Lyle missed on what looked like up and down. How do you think he can correct that?
I think it's just patience, like way, way, way more patience, and instead of trying to snap into that final locked-in position, just a little bit more patience through to make it a bit smoother. Because
These are sub-juniors we're talking about, though.
yeah, I mean, all you can do is try, right? Here we go. Here's Micah for a national
Micah
record
trying to
attempt.
retake that national record. Missed it on his first.
Yeah, this is crazy. These deadlifts are about to be wild. They're deadlifts.
18 years old, lifting some pretty incredible weight.
His leverages are so long. Let's see. Locks in his grip.
Oh,
Oh no!
Oh my goodness.
Locked it out, no problem.
He is
I'm
not
not sure
happy.
if he
There's
lost
something going on
consciousness or
there.
just balance there, but
The bar just moves so fast,
It moves
and then
so
it almost
fast.
looks like the screen is lagging how
I
fast
know.
it is. And when he stands up with it, it just feels like that bar moves so fast that he can't settle it.
yeah. That one, it almost looked like he fainted. Like, I wonder if he stood
Yeah.
up so fast with it.
Yeah. No, that's a really good point.
We are going for a pretty big jump here to 278 kilos for Jacobo Leon.
Yeah, that's a 17 kilo jump.
Yeah, for an already really big deadlift opener. So, but his deadlift opener moved great, so I think it's there. They think it's there.
I
We'll
think
see
he's
how
just trying to
this-
make a statement here.
Yeah.
So this is 612 pounds that's going to be loaded on the bar for this 163-pound individual.
Yeah.
278. He's trying to push that record and let everyone know that he's not here to play.
I wonder if this is his last year as a sub junior, make a huge statement and then
Totally.
keep it out of reach for years, maybe even.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
I think he mentioned that he wants to deadlift 300, so this would put him in that
Yeah,
position.
it
So
would put him in a pretty good position for that. And I also want to deadlift 300, but it looks way more feasible for him.
hey, if there's anything I know about you, I wouldn't count you out for anything.
No, I'm really excited to see how this moves for him. Hopefully it sets him up for the position he wants to be in for his third pull. But the way deadlifts have been going for everyone right now, a little crazy. Let's see how this goes.
Cool boy. He's already smiling. Like,
I know.
I think he
He's
feels
confident.
very confident
yeah,
about this.
he's confident. Love that. Gets it moving, locks it
Oh,
out.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was like
Very
opener
well
speed.
done.
Yeah. Really great.
Do you load it up, Britt? 300?
Does he have anything to lose
No,
right now?
I don't think he
nah,
does.
yeah, I think you just load it
You
then.
just give it.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, I feel like you just have some fun now if you're safe. All right, we're going into third deadlifts now. We have Tanir Meady coming out first for 185 kilos.
But you know what that does mean, though? Like we talked about, deadlift specialists, deadlift heroes, that's one thing. But if you can bring up your other numbers,
Yeah.
you become a weapon.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Right? Like, a respectable... He did miss, opening squat and then his 2 benches. So I think that definitely set him back a little bit.
Yeah, for
But,
sure.
you know, if you can bring those up and at least become a bit more of a complete lifter.
And like as he gains more experience, more meats under his belt,
sure.
those little mistakes won't happen.
Exactly.
He'll become more consistent, 8 for 8 or 8 for 9, 9 for 9 lifter.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be pretty untouchable for a
Yeah,
while
exactly.
there. It'll be really cool to watch his development.
So this is the last attempts of the session. These lifters have been giving it all day long. Let's finish it out strong. We have Tunir, 185, 400 pounds, 400 plus pounds.
Gets it moving.
Come on, finish it out.
It's a sticking point, but is patient.
There you go. Very nice.
Let's see what the refs say.
That's a good
3
lift.
It's good
Nice.
lift, yeah. Great way to finish the day.
I'm sure that feels so good. Getting your last deadlift,
For sure. He was 8 for 9 on the day.
locking it out. Yeah,
Really great day there.
definitely.
Great job, Tunir. Next up, we have Elliot Fafard coming out for 215 kilos. 12.5 kilo jump.
473. All right, so it does look like Lyle's putting in that extra 2.5 kilos.
Okay.
He's gonna lift first, though, right? So
Yep.
that does mean that Anthony can spot, and then they can make the appropriate changes.
Yeah. I mean, all or nothing, right?
That's that send it mentality,
Yeah.
right?
And again, that just comes down to what your athlete wants at the beginning of the day. Like,
Yeah.
you have that conversation, what are your
Yeah.
goals? And
Yeah, exactly.
if it means risking bombing out or taking it all.
Yep.
All right, Elliot just setting up here for his third. He's had a pretty rock solid day today, too. A couple benches,
Man.
but
Yeah.
yeah.
Let's finish out strong. Here we go.
Patience off the floor.
Nice. Let's go. Lock it out. Come on. Not quite
just
there.
a bit too much
A
today.
bit too much for the hometown boy, but still a great
Yeah.
performance. Great show.
Great show overall, yeah.
Yeah. Give the fans, give the audience something to cheer for.
We're taking the bar now to 220 kilos for Raphael Bouchard.
Man, I can't imagine what it's like, being in Lyle's head right now. Like, he was having a great meet, and he still is, right? Not to
Yes.
take away from his performance. Still having a great meet, but was perfect going into deadlifts. A couple technicalities,
And now you're down to
and
the
now
wire.
you're down to the wire.
Down
Now
to the
your
wire.
back is against the wall. So
But sometimes that's the position you find yourself in, and
I think regardless, it's a
See.
learning experience,
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
It's something, you can reflect on and take and drink in and process after it's all said and done, and
yeah.
make those adjustments. But hey,
For
it's
now,
not
we just have to cross our fingers. He gets on the
Exactly.
board, pushes everyone else a little bit.
day's not over yet.
Yep.
Raphael Bouchard, 220 kilos, 485 pounds.
Gets it moving. It's already
Sticks
dipped,
with
yeah.
it, but just a bit too much.
Next time for sure, though.
No lift. Up next is Brian.
So Brian had a bit of a strength lockout issue on his opener. He corrected whatever had happened and hit it pretty clean on his second.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's taking a 10-kilo jump. I think
Yeah.
it'll be a bit of a grind, but I think he's totally capable of it.
Yeah, we just had our first change as well. He had 222 submitted, but he just changed it to 225, make it an even 496 pounds. Once again, I'd like to thank our sponsors. Visit Moose Jaw SBD Apparel Canada. Brittany, what's your favorite piece that you own from SBD?
My 13-millimeter belt, for
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
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 Die hard.
Different colorways or the OG red and black?
Just the OG red and
Nice.
black. I
Very
mean,
good.
they're all. I really love the gray and black. It's super nice, but
Yeah.
everything I wear is like the red and black color scheme.
Definitely. Inner Strength Products and Sask Lotteries. Brian Huang, 225 kilos, finishing out the day.
So let's see if he can grind this one out. Love to see that for him. Nah, just a bit too heavy today. Good for him for getting in that deadlift, though, locking in a total for the
super
day.
good to register a total, stay on the board and aim for the next one.
Next up, we have Loic Plante coming out for 240 kilos. 10 kilo increase from his second. He's having a really great day so far. Hopefully he can finish off strong here.
Definitely, definitely.
And after this lift, the battle begins.
Ooh.
We've got an over 300 kilo lift coming up. Let's see if Loic can lock in an 8 for 9 day.
There it is.
Grind at lockout, but super patient throughout.
That's what you want to see for your third attempt. And that's a good lift. 2 white lights.
2 to 1. 1 red light. Looks like a bit of up and down movement from one of the referees.
All right, Britt, time to call the bomb squad. We got bomb watch.
Let's go. Go time.
Lyle Babin, 262.5. This is all or nothing here.
He has missed 250. He jumped to 260. This is now another 2.5 kilo increase. Not on strength, just on some interesting bobbles that are happening.
And like you talked about, it was on patience, right?
Yeah.
Like on the up and down, it was just because, there was just a bit of oscillation with the bar. So, hopefully the coaches talk about the right things and, they get him to where he needs to be mentally and he can finish it out because he's had a great performance.
Yeah, go out on a high note.
Yeah, let's go. But you know what? He's going to finish out on his sword. He's going to go down swinging.
Good on him.
So let's do it.
Yeah. Just a little bit more patience, I think, and he's got this.
There we go. Whoa, that was easy.
That looks clean to me. We'll see. Yeah,
That's
3 white lights. He
lights.
stays in the competition.
Yes, he's alive.
Good job, Lyle.
And that looks so easy.
It looks so
that
easy.
Looked like an opener.
Yeah.
But his total is in.
Gives you something to go back on and look at in training, though.
Definitely.
Correcting that little bit of a bobble issue. But
Up
now
next is Micah.
Yeah, we have another lifter looking to stay in the competition. He has missed 261 and 261.5.
First on the grip and then second for balance.
Yeah, so we have 265 now.
Also another strong deadlifter.
Yeah.
We've seen him deadlift twice now and they both look really easy.
Yeah,
so I don't think strength is an
not
issue.
the issue.
But we just got to see if these athletes can lock it in and do what needs to be done. Like no more, no less. You just got to do your job.
Yeah. See if because he had a picture perfect day coming into deadlifts. Let's see if he can finish on a high note. These are such strong pullers. We're in the 74 kilo class, just a reminder.
Take a look that he's adjusting the bar with his wrist. So he's not playing around with his hands. Like I think he wants to really just make sure that his hands are secured or accounted for before the lift.
Yeah, not contaminated. He did on his second one. He rolled it back with his wrist too. So I wonder if that's been an issue that he's experienced in the past. Let's go, Micah.
There it is. Oh, did he get the down command
balance, though? But he didn't put it down controlled. So unfortunately, no lift there.
I believe if you fall forward, as long as you keep your hands on the bar, right? As long as you don't lose your hands. I'm not too sure. I think that was my understanding.
I think you have to put it down controlled.
Controlled? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, great effort to Micah.
Yeah, for sure.
Great performance.
Really great day. It'll be interesting to see him next year, the adjustments he makes and the progress he makes over the next year, for sure.
No else, just lessons. You learn from it and you move on and, you come back better. But up next, Anthony Valancourt trying to win on body weight, 267.5.
While locking in a perfect 9 for 9 day. No pressure.
just when you thought the stakes weren't high enough.
Yeah. His lifts have been looking great, obviously, so
Super
far today.
consistent
So
throughout the entire day.
we'll
Just
see if he can lock
hitting
this
all the
last one
numbers
in.
that he needed to
Yeah,
make.
for sure.
Bars loaded.
He's got Team Canada coach Jimmy Willard in his corner, so you're getting the right number, but you still got to take care of business. So
Yep. Still
here we
gotta
go.
Get the work done.
Take it to Panama. Go, go!
Oh.
Not quite.
Yeah, just a little bit too much today. Maybe his hands were set just right either.
Yeah.
But still a great day.
that's-
8 for 9 performance.
That's the day, for sure.
Yeah.
That's the day. Could have been a cramping as well,
Yeah,
when
for
When
sure.
your hands are cramping, it's hard to get a good grip on the bar.
Especially this far into the day. Yeah.
Definitely, yeah. So
Looks like Jacobo has dropped his deadlift to 285.5, so still a massive, massive deadlift and a national record attempt here.
629 for Jacobo, 74 kilos.
Yeah, these
Individual.
are some huge deadlifts. Last deadlift for this session.
Bars loaded. Come on, Jacob. National record. This is all national record, you guys. Last
Crowd is getting behind him. Jacobo has been told the bar is loaded. Here he comes.
He's trying to cement that deadlift record.
Yeah, he's asking for some support from the crowd. They're getting fired up behind him.
Let's go, kid. Come on.
Sets
Ale,
that
ale.
grip. Pushing, patience
on.
off the floor. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful patience there.
Just
2 to 1,
like
a
that.
good lift. That's all we need.
Just like that.
He is so happy with that lift. He is.
medal ceremonies next.
Amazing job. Like, way
What
to
a
finish out the day.
Great competition, yeah.
Totally. So, yeah, Brittany, well done to these sub-juniors. We really got to see it all
Yeah.
today. A little bit of everything. Highs and lows all around. But,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, some great lifting.
Lots of
to-
learning experiences.
For sure, and,
Great
you know-
job to our youth and our special O lifters too that were on platform 1. They killed it today.
And, yeah, just to solidify, the point that we've been saying, the future of powerlifting is bright in Canada. And I'm really looking forward to seeing these athletes continue to progress in their journey.
Yeah, thank you for being here with us today, and we will be back for the next session.
We're going to do medals by
2 hours? 3 hours?
Yeah, in a few hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, stick around.